All right. Are we live? Do we have multi-chat? Do we have multi-stream? I knew this first time was going to be a train wreck. If for some reason you were new, hi, my name is Mia. I sculpt 3D printable minis and I have a schedule and I'm fancy and yes. Why do I have chat 3 times up? Oh, this is so funny. I wonder what I can close without everything breaking. Please go away. There we go. We are live. Okay, cool. So I can see who is from what. Okay, very cool. Hello, world. It is working and Twitch looks good. Awesome. It's up to you guys whether you watch on Twitch or not. I have no strong preference. I just figured it'd be fun to be in some different places. And yeah. Oh, we have the same error, Ricky, as last time. That's kind of what I thought it was going to do. YouTube is having an absolute meltdown. It's trying to absorb like 3 different streams at once, which is really odd. I'm only sending 1 signal and it's just like, we have 3 streams from you. And I'm like, which is interesting because YouTube is what I have used for years and that is the one that I know. But right now, Twitch is my good child. So yeah, thanks for bearing with me while I am trying to figure out these things. They're very hard to Google for obvious reasons because there's a million different configurations and whatnot. But one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because it's fun to have more people hanging out with us in the tavern, more peasants. And then also, the top chat thing on YouTube has just been killing me. So I wanted to have an option where you guys could just watch the stream and the chat is here, everything is here. You don't have to worry about top chat being stupid. And it's just kind of a win-win for everybody. And then if I'm going to have stream, you know, I'm going to have chat on stream, I might as well multi-stream in 1 step away. So yeah. Hello, Empress. Good morning. I'm here for the start at least. Hey, no worry. We are barely getting this rolling because I'm now on Twitch as of today, but today it might just turn into a troubleshooting stream, unfortunately. It is what it is. It's okay. Silly YouTube. I don't know what your problem is. That was not my bingo card. I thought for sure YouTube would be my easy child because that's what I've used for a long time. But it's not. It is very unhappy. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So yeah, I'm not really sure what my course of action I want to do here next. It says that the stream quality on YouTube is poor because it's getting so many signals from the same place. I apologize for this. I do. I did a lot of prep to make sure this would go smooth, but I knew it would be tricky. So yeah, YouTube looks just fine. It's so angry over here. I don't know why. I went ahead and started and stopped it. And, oh, the error went away. Okay, YouTube. My problem child. Looks fine in here as well. Okay, if we can all just agree that YouTube is having a tantrum, I'm okay with that. I'm A-okay with that. Continue as normal. All right, great. Normal stream. Good, that is what I'm wanting. Excellent. Yeah, it's working fine for everybody. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, let me button things up on... YouTube is just threatening me. It is just threatening me. Stressing me out, YouTube. Stressing me out. Thank you, Alice, for following me on Twitch. I appreciate it. All right. If for whatever reason you are welcome to also watch on Twitch, it is up to you what platform you want to be on. I'll be chatting with y'all the same either way. You were right. It does seem like the chat isn't moving. Well, it's going to take a little bit too. There's going to be a slight delay. YouTube chat isn't showing up on the on-screen chat overlay. That's the only problem that I see. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Let me... Ooh, I see. Enter video ID. Second. That's probably that thing that I closed earlier that I was like, ooh, I hope this doesn't break it. It did. But part of this is just learning how to fix things on the fly too. It's okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. At the meantime, we got this cool dragon we're gonna work on. I'm gonna spend just a little bit of time kind of messing with this, but not a ton. The show must go on. I don't know why you insist on opening all the way over here. But how have you guys been? Shans, it's been a hot minute. Always good to see you in chat. You mentioned that you're hanging out, drinking coffee, and coloring. What are you coloring? I'm curious. Complete sign using your passkey. Oh gosh. What happened to my password being good enough? Oh, I can say use my password. That's why I made a password. There we go. Gosh. At this point, just take my blood. You have two-step verification turned on. Oh, good lord. Sure. Send a code to my phone. Hello, Miguel. I am just troubleshooting stuff right now. There's nothing exciting happening. But it's good to see you. I decided to, I'm like, oh, I'll stream on Twitch too, because I'm putting chat on my stream at this point. And funny enough, Twitch is just like, I got you, you're gonna have the best first day experience. And now YouTube is like, I don't want to share. And YouTube is like having a complete meltdown and everything about YouTube is not working. It's really funny to me. Cool. I think I have finally logged in for the third time. It is silly. I know, there are so many different ways that the logging in over and over and over again. Oh, it just cracks me up. Hello, honey.
Hello.
Look how mad it is. Look at all of our errors on the YouTube side. You guys can't see this, but it's on our side. It's insisting that we're sending multiple signals. Every time this opens all the way over here, I die a little inside. There we go. All right. I don't know how to fix this.
Yeah, the only thing not working here is the YouTube chat.
Yeah, but I can tell this is going to be unstable because of the connection keeps glitching to poor. You know what I mean?
I think that's just what it's telling you, though. It honestly looks good. It looks very stable.
Yeah, but if we actually are sending multiple streams to one signal, it's going to bog down my computer too.
It might just be it recognizing stream elements as taking this one stream key and sending it multiple places.
Maybe. I don't think so. I think it's gonna cause a problem. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna like mid dragon sculpt, and it's gonna stop working.
I think that's gonna be fun.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And Twitch is a bit faster. That almost doesn't surprise me. You gotta use your passport yesterday to send a transfer. Oh gosh. I believe it. I believe it. It's just again, I'm like this point, I'm like, I'll just give a blood sample at this point if I can just be perpetually logged into all of my stuff without having to provide 15 different documents to get anything done. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me get this working. All right, again, it's gonna be a bit of an on and off stream. I know I could just start sculpting, but I really want to get this working correctly and then like resituate my brain. So continue to frolic, peasants. We might have a later start today. This stream will be live, but not really. I'll be back in a bit. All right. I think I've at least got the chat box working, so I'm gonna ignore the fact that YouTube's having a meltdown and just get going. Thank you guys for bearing with me. We'll consider our start time here at 1 and then go from 1 until 3. So yes, that is my plan. I'm really excited to get more progress done on this dragon too. So I'm glad that we can get going. I'm just gonna have both of my things open here. It's my dog snoring in the background. He's ready. He's just like, I've been ready. I know, honey. All right. I'm pretty excited that I can do more than, you know, stream more than one place, and that this was smooth enough. You know what I mean? I'd rather the music be quiet than too loud. So unless we're specifically wanting it to be loud, you just let me know. Yay! Thank you, Alice, for posting this in a little test. I even got my first nonsense comment. I'm like, oh my god, I have to log into Twitch just because someone's making no sense. AI viewer calm. I was like, what? I was like, oh god. Alright. This will go away. Perfect. Okay, I think we're set. I think we're set. Alright. It sounds like we're wanting more Taverby music. That's fine with me. I'm gonna push it up just a tiny bit. It also depends on the song, so let me know in a couple of minutes if you think it sounds better. Alright. What do I do here? It's dragon time. This right here's blob was kind of like our early starting point, and then this is where we left off. I am pretty excited what this noodle boy is gonna look like. So let's go ahead and get a nice starting point where we can kind of have a little reference as we keep building it. Yeah, no, I totally get you, Alice. But luckily, it's really easy to moderate comments on Twitch. It's a lot faster. Yeah. No, we will be nice to the new Twitch viewers. I mean, technically, Alice is now a Twitch viewer, so there you go. Excuse me. And it might have even been a real person with that comment. I'm not sure. I just saw it didn't make any coherent sense, and I was like, no thank you. No thank you. Yes, Destroya, I think the YouTube problem is solved. I at least have the chats working, and YouTube is saying that the connection is poor. Excuse me, and the stream is poor, but it sounds like it looks it's functioning perfectly well. So I'll just leave it. We will do. I have something I want to test next time that I stream, but that's on the back end stuff. Every time we do that, I don't understand. The big thing now is I'm trying to make sure I can see your guys' chat easier. There we go. I have fixed it on my side too. All right, I'm getting in the groove of this. Perfect. Well, let's go ahead and check out... Oh my gosh, Alice is everywhere. And I'm gonna do some editing with the... whatchamacallit? The chat overlay too. I don't think I need to see your guys' little avatars too. They can look a little cluttered, so I'll be doing a little editing with that, but that's at a different time. We are ready to go here. That's my calendar. Go away. Yeah, I could see that. Not a problem. Oh my goodness, Alice has now posted in every possible place to shake it photos. Oh my goodness, get on her level. Yeah. With like viewbot services. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I've got real people, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright. Yeah, it is very, very easy. My biggest thing here is I kind of want to make sure, yeah, the important thing is that we are multi-stream for the first time, which is really exciting. It just took a little second. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I really try my best to do this stuff off stream, but you have to be live to have a lot of features work, which is unfortunate. I tried doing stuff yesterday where I did like an unlisted stream, and that was silly because apparently if your stream is unlisted, then you can't, a lot of the stuff doesn't work anyway. So I was like, that's dumb. Okay, let's get some inspiration. Let's get our board going. Oh, my dog is snoring proper. Here we go. Oh, heck yeah. I'm getting fancy over here, guys. I got, like, different things I have opened. So I can take load off of my main PC and then throw it on another monitor. Heck yeah. Perfect. Now if I see something I don't like, I can really easily ban still. We're set. We are in business. Good, good. Okay. Well, we are now and officially the stream is starting. So, hello, my name is Mia. I sculpt 3D printable models for a living and a lot of fantasy goodness. Today we are working on a moon dragon. You're more than welcome to be part of the process. I have started this one already, but there's still a lot of decisions to be made. I am going to sculpt this as a centerpiece to my upcoming Patreon collection, Moon Dragon Monastery. And I'm really excited about it. So we have it kind of like over this torii gate at the moment, but I need to figure out like how I want to texture it, and I think we're going to spend a good chunk of today sculpting dragon limbs and hands is the plan. So as of right now, if you want to like, share references and ideas, you're more than welcome to join our Discord. If you are on Twitch, I actually don't know how to get you my Discord quite yet. One thing at a time. Okay. So I'm on Pinterest here, and I'm just gonna grab things I like the vibe of. This is pretty neat. And anything that I like, I just kind of add to my little reference board here that we're gonna start building. Yeah. Hello, traveler. Yeah, I mean, y'all can have fun bouncing between both platforms, which I would find very, very funny. I didn't think anyone's going to do that, but Alice, you're cracking me up. You can be omnipresent if that so pleases you. I like how literal the like moon horns are here. There we go. Getting some vibes. And then the flow of the body is going to be very important. Also, dragon legs and dragon feet, hands, legs. Let's see what that gets me. That's nice. We talked about maybe doing it a bit more like bird talon-like as well. I know, double the grift. All the cool kids are doing it. I'm just glad I finally got it put together. I knew it would be tricky. And so over the years, I've always had people be like, oh, well, why don't you just multi-stream? And I'm like, because nothing ever works. But all considering, that really wasn't too bad set up now that it's happening. Ooh, this is fun. A bunch of different like sketches of like different ways we can approach feet. It's another foot stream. I'm kidding. I get myself banned immediately. It's a joke. We're sculpting dragons. Oh, goodness gracious. I love these like really loose pencil sketches. Okay. That's beautiful. That's really well done. Yoink. Dragon foot. It's kind of bird-like. It's very dragon-like. That's going to be a great one. I like this for the front arms potentially too. And very, very long talons. We don't have to worry about the 3D printability of it because I'm going to wrap it around the torii gate we have. So we can have our cake and eat it too. Win-win. Yeah, multi-stream just means multiple problems. Wow, Alice, there was some good effort there. Being able to finish your own sentence cross-platform. Did anyone else see that Kit Bash buying ArtStation, and Sketchfab. I did see that. I'm not really sure what it's going to mean because I wasn't super familiar with Kit Bash, but people seem excited about it. Yeah, absolutely. I know we're gonna have to do a foot monster stream. The joke, absolutely, at some points. All right. Let me make this a bit smaller. I'll have this one. Oh, my dog is dead asleep. We're late. I guess not late. I do start streaming at 1 sometimes, so this really isn't too bad. Excellent. Okay. Gonna kind of roll out my head, roll out my shoulders. Art brain. Okay. We're in business. It's happening. All right, the first thing I think I want to fix here is the legs. I got these kind of like mushy legs going on. They're fine. They're just not super inspired. Yeah. It's perfect. So let's look at some dragon feet. Because I do have these blocked out, and then let's see how we can improve them. I'm looking at my reference board here and kind of just seeing how I can develop these forms more. What's nice about these like worm style dragons, oh my gosh, Maverick is snoring so loud. Anyway, is I can use the front feet and the back feet and repurpose them, which is kind of nice. So what I'm going to do is just start making these a more interesting shape. I'm a big fan of how curled these claws are. I'm going to make one really nice one and then duplicate it a bunch of times. I think we're going to go with 3 toes and then a back talon, just like Burbs. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Alice, the whiplash of you being on all platforms is so funny to me. He normally comes home for lunch, for reference. Gotcha, gotcha. There we go. And I'm going to try to add detail earlier on and commit to these forms. I usually wait to kind of like trick myself into not getting too, you know, fussed about making things perfect. And then I have to detail everything asymmetrically. And I'm not wanting to do that. Oh, it feels so good to finally get some sculpting done after some stream bullshit, but we did it. But we did it. Ooh, how about a dragon in the flying dragon pose? Do you do yoga too? Very cool if you do, or if you're just finding silly poses. I'm a big yoga fan. I can't do that, but I can do basic stuff. Also, Alice, I used both of your pose ideas yesterday. Thank you so, so much for your beautiful pose references. Something that I realized that I like so much about your pose references, Alice, is the fact that you picked bodies. You didn't pick like this gorgeous 2D art, because there's a lot of like smushing you can do with 2D art to make things look good. There we go. That's a ridiculous claw. I like it. I like it. All right. So Kit Bash bought Sketchfab and ArtStation from Epic Games. And some people say that this would be a good thing since Epic only bought Sketchfab to redirect buyers to the FAB platform and didn't care. Yeah, that wouldn't help anybody. So I have seen that like rumblings, people are optimistic about this, which is always nice. Kind of a different reception to change, you know? Traveler says, here's a thought. As she's a shrine goddess, possibly the feet have some sort of jewelry. Oh. Not at all as a mask to hide things, no. But the idea of putting like any ornamentation on this dragon did not cross my mind at all. I could very, very easily give her some sort of like head plate, a jewel in her forehead perhaps, or like some bangles. That would be really cool. Yeah. It has been too hot. All right, well, we have a really nice dragon claw here. Let's make 3. Now that we have a more interesting shape here, let's fix this weird little toe nub thing I got going on. which is great. If I really take my time doing this and making it nice, I can update my dragon base mesh, and you guys know that I love doing that. All right, so the first thing I want to do is just kind of, I'm looking at the difference between the space I have and then the references. Did I actually point in the right direction? Yes, this way. Is like the pad of the toe is what I'm missing. So I'm just looking at crucial figures. Crown of Antlers says Twitch Alice, and YouTube Alice says maybe with a floating eye in the middle. You know that's my favorite. All right. I'm debating to make these toes separate pieces entirely. Make like one really nice toe and then duplicate said toe. It would make it much easier to pose. Yes, I think I'm gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna duplicate this little foot shape just in case I decide this is a terrible idea, then I can back out of it. We're gonna sculpt dragon feet. All right, so we have a toe, I'm gonna close holes, and just make a little bean, make a little blob. There we go. Now that we have one, I can really put my reference and then see how to make this shape what I want. It's cool because you can really like show the weight of the toe pressing down. That is cool. I'm going to use my soft brush. This is from Flip Normals. It's just like the clay brush in ZBrush, but a little squishier. I don't know, it feels better to sculpt with. And then we have this kind of tapering form on the sides, and it blobs again, just like a finger would. So we're like sculpting knuckles essentially right now. Another thing that's going to help make this look really cool is having this toe interact with the nail coming out. Let's increase my resolution and have a really committed form. There we go, on the edge. I use a slash brush for that. And remember, it's not so much the brush that matters. It's just what are you trying to achieve, and then do said thing. All right, we're gonna have one toe going. Well, it's a terrible business decision. Traveler says, I was just thinking, some women fancy up their fingernails. Why shouldn't a shrine goddess? This is fair. Can you imagine being a nail artist for a dragon? Yeah. Oh my goodness, now there's 3 Alices. Gintopia. Oh my gosh. A third of my view count is just the same person. I love it. I love it. Epic recently had some controversy, if I remember correctly, because their flagship game fired a ton of artists and employed the use of a ton of AI art. Yeah, that sounds right. Cracks me up. It's like, no, AI is a tool for the artist. And then uses it to replace artist. I'm like, that's what I thought you were, that's what we were all mad about. Why are you so against change and growth? Oh my gosh. Oh man. All right, let's lay on some scales. I have this really cool brush I can play with. So we can try a bunch of different scale shapes. And then if I'm good, I will write down what scale I use so I remember for later. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I want something that's overlapping. This one's already in a set of 3, which is quite nice. I'm gonna mask the area in which it goes on. Well, cool. All right. Now it's a game of spot the difference. That toe looks flatter on the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of flatten mine harshly and then bevel the edge essentially. Because that toe looks really funny. Very blobby. So, oh, we're also missing like a direction change. So this is actually 2 different pieces, just like your finger would be. Interesting, interesting. I'm learning right now. I mean, I guess I always am. It's kind of the beauty of having a job like this. All right, so if this is going to be one segment, let me scoot that over. I can make this another piece, or I can pose this. I'm just thinking what would be easiest to mess with later. Yeah, that height change, that's where it's at. That's really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and Dynamesh this again. I don't mind if it's kind of low res. Because we're really just playing with shapes. I don't really sculpt feet very much. Yeah. There we go. I do like this really dramatic height difference. It just makes me think about horse anatomy being such a horror show. Yeah, they run on their fingernails, essentially, is the equivalent. It's as if we walked around like this. Oh, a student question. Yes, Empress. If this dragon had plated armor, like overlapping plate pieces, how would you go about adding those? I would make one. Let's pretend this is the plate. I'd make one. I'd bring up my 3D gizmo, hold down, what is it, command? Yes, hold down command, get my distance where I want it. So I'll do it this way. And then drag. And then once I had this, it already looks kind of like a plate, honestly. Ooh, that looks very plate-like. And then once I had this, I would kind of get my gizmo aligned just right. And then I would use bend curve to do any future fittings to that body. I hope that answers your question. That's a fun one. I love when guys ask questions that I can like really easily demo. It's always best to just see it, you know? All right, we have one toe. Very dramatic toe. And then let's continue. So now that I'm thinking about it as 3 different forms, it's a little easier for me to understand. So let's really commit to those plane changes and I guess really direction changes here. Is there like a really clear wrinkle? Not really. Oh hey, your little emotes actually are working now, Alice. Yay! We got some movement in the chat. There we go. I'm still undecided on how I want this shape here to work. Nifty says, "Has a nice stream today. We are on the hunt for the moon." I don't even know if it's a game reference or what, but that's in our Discord right now. I know, a stream without Nifty. Oh no. I wonder if Shan's made it back after our technical difficulties. Oh, I don't know if Miguel is still lurking, but Miguel sent me a little DM while I was crashing out trying to fix it. And just being like, "You got this, I believe in you," which is so sweet. He's so nice. That does answer it, thank you, just in case I make a lobster dragon. I like it. Alright, what is going on with this toe? I'm missing a joint still. There we go. Totally figuring this out. I'm just gonna make this smaller. Just commit to some changes here. Yeah. Alright, we're actually getting a pretty cool looking dragon toe here. It's a little lumpy, so I can clean it up manually, or I can reduce the poly count and ZBrush it a bunch of times. Something I like to do to kind of like cheat that, make it faster, is to decimate it, and then ZBrush. Yeah. Hey, Shans is alive! Hello! We figured it out. It was difficult, but I did it. Alright. I've always wanted to have a more detailed dragon foot that I designed with posing in mind. So I'm happy to be doing this. Hello, honey.
Hello.
I did it.
You did the thing?
I think so. It's working anyway. So I think if we do the different stream key, it'll make it happier next time.
Okay.
What are you up to?
I need the ID number for dental. So I know you took that screenshot. I'm sending it to me.
Oh, yeah. Did they ask for it, or are you just being prepared?
Just being prepared.
Wow.
Oh, that's not something I do. Shut up.
No, I'm just being defensive because we tried to get this so prepared before the stream, and it was still just like, no, I'm not gonna work.
I know.
It really wasn't that big of a deal.
Alright, well, I'm off to see the dentist.
Go enjoy Crentist. So I scheduled the dentist wrong. Apparently...
Yes, you did.
I'm so sorry. Goodbye, drive safe, I love you. So, I hate the dentist. We both hate the dentist. Who doesn't hate the dentist? Sorry, dentist. Anyway, and we have to drive like an hour and a half to get there. Okay, we live in a small town.
It's so far.
Go drive! Anyway, we get there and they're like, oh yeah, you're for your cleaning. And I was like, no, I want like x-rays and like an exam. Like I want to see like the doctor. And they're like, no, today was just a cleaning. And I was like, I didn't do this right. Damn it. So that was completely a wash. I went to the dentist just 6 months ago. I'm trying to be good. Anyway, I'm a bit of a cheapskate, as you guys know, and I'm not looking for health advice. Just gonna preface that. But she was like, great, your cleaning is gonna be like $86 or something. And I was like, no, I'm good. She's like, you don't want the hygienist to see you? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Because it's like, it's almost $100 just to have them clean my teeth. And I was just there 6 months ago. And before that, I hadn't gotten my teeth cleaned by a hygienist in 2 or 3 years. And I made sure to wait until after she was done cleaning. And then I was like, hey, how'd it look? And she was like, it looks great. Your teeth are really, in really good shape. I'm like, any areas you recommend I pay attention to, that kind of stuff? And she's like, no. I'm like, great. I haven't had this done in 3 years or 2 years. And she was like, really? And I was like, cool. I only need to get this done once a year. Oh, goodness. Not health advice. This is just me. Yeah. Hey, it's Dragon. Hello. Hey, you're modeling my aunt. Your aunt's beautiful. Anyway, that's my dentist complaining. Don't be like me. My goodness, why is this dragon foot so hard? This is like sculpting shoes. It is looking cool though. It's definitely looking more interesting than what I had before, which was just kind of this generic shape. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, Ko-Fi tips are always a thing. Never ever expected, never any pressure, but always appreciated. That is linked on my stream. So just Ko-Fi M3DM14. The top seller by far is $15 for an extra hour, and that would go towards today's stream. And then if we hit the stream goal for the week, the donation goal for the week, I do an extra stream on Thursday. It's a good time. Always appreciated. All right. Sick. I got some cool shapes here that I can start messing with. I think I went into my more refined details a little too quickly. So I'm actually, instead of trying to make one detailed toe, because I thought they'd be like identical, they're not. I'm gonna spend more time with each toe. They all want their own amount of attention, I should have figured. And I also want to make sure I'm keeping that back toe in mind. So let's design with the whole thing. There we go. Sweet. Oh yeah, I didn't pin it on, I didn't do that. You're right. I don't know how easy that'll be for me to do, but I'll try. And thank you, Shans. I do appreciate the reminder. All right, sweet. I found my own account. Step 1. I have another monitor over here, so I don't have to bog down my PC. Ooh, it is working. Heck yeah. So fancy over here. All right, that link should work. I'll go ahead and pin that. Again, thank you, Shans. We had so much hijinks in the beginning, I kind of got confused. Oh, hey, someone bought something too. New Ko-Fi shop sale from someone. Well, thank you, someone. You guys are so sweet. And today was a hard start to the stream, so I don't know. Your donation goes triple for me right now. Gosh. Hey, it was Traveler who bought an extra hour on the stream for everybody. Thank you, Traveler. I really appreciate that. In addition to buying extra hours on the stream, you can also do a Chaos Wheel spin, which is only $5. So, just food for thought if you want something a little silly. Traveler, it never says who I am. That's because you're doing a shop sale. I just did the shop sale for it to be faster, but if you want to be able to put like your own custom message and your name and stuff, you have to like manually put in $15. It was a trade-off for everything. I had a feeling I knew who someone was though, and I was correct. Thank you so much, Traveler. Single-handedly because of you, we're now 60% of our goal. This is pretty awesome. Very, very, very appreciated. And I want a longer stream today because it took a while to get started, you know? Bam. I think I can pin that on Twitch too. I've never done that. Bam. Went ahead and posted that on Twitch as well. Ooh, we are double pinned. So fancy. Check me out. I'm like a real streamer, ma. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I think we're gonna reach that. Traveler, you're like my best supporter and my marketing manager all rolled into one. Alright, what is this from? Ah, that is also from the claw. Let's scrub that down. Alright, we have a much more interesting foot shape now. And something else I like, I'm just noticing about these toes, is that they kind of come out from like the top of this piece. There is a preview of the Chaos Wheel if you want to know more about that and what exactly that $5 is. It's pretty much just like a silly little thing that happens for 5 minutes on the stream. You'll see. It's just a good little time. Okay, so that means I'll be streaming until 4, because we started at 1. Whew. Buckle up, we got a lot of stream to do. Be a good time. Or 4 coffees. I do like being well supplied. Let's see, Gintopia says, I accidentally ordered a box of Warhammer with shop for pickup. Oh, in Tennessee, since I did not realize our online store is apparently only for reserving stuff. Oh goodness, I thought it's like, oh, I accidentally bought some Warhammer stuff. But no, sounds like you'll be in my neck of the woods. I'll make sure to wave. Oh hey, Nifty is finding an eclipse. That's cool. That's really cool. Check them out. Yeah, so this is them before, and then this is now. That's cool. Not happening here. I think they're on the other side of the world. Pretty sure. Yeah. And then the Forge of Many Things is here. Hello! A foot that large would definitely require a dedicated pedicurist. Oh, 100%. 100. This is a lot of toe to deal with. In much better form than these. These are fine, but I'm like, I could do better than that now. Chance. Wait, is that like real? Yes. They were going eclipse hunting today. Or like live? Also, yes. They're not in our neck of the woods. They're on the other side of Earth. Round Earth things. Chance, did you take this? Oh my god, I cannot communicate. Relatable. And yes, they did. Oh my goodness, there's so many things to learn about toes. There we go, I'm figuring it out. I'm getting a foot that I like. Yeah. Nah, I'm not driving from New Jersey just for some plastic figures. Quitter. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. And that's going to be really friendly to pose too. I do need a little back toe. we kind of just get that blob in place and then stick. Boop. There we go. Yeah, we're getting kind of like that bird foot action I was wanting. Very good. Go ahead and cut this toenail to be a little shorter. I guess I am the pedicurist today. There we are. I'm not going to do too much detailing because I have a feeling we're going to do a lot of posing to get these wrapped around the torii gate. And details are quick. Details are easy. Alright, I want the whole foot merged down. So many pieces. There we go. Excellent. We have a foot. It's a pretty nice foot. It's a big foot. But it's mostly so I can then bring it into my other scene here for this dragon. That's what we designed that foot for. Yeah. Yeah, I getcha. Oh, that's lame. They still made you pay the tax for that. Oh no. My husband texting me. He's like, damn it, I forgot to fuel up the truck before I left. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Oh, goodness. Some days are just not easy peasy lemon squeezy. Some days are going to be lemon, difficult lemon. It's just how it is, and it's okay. You carry on, and you sculpt a dragon. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna cut off this foot, and then we will resculpt this arm to not look so like this. We can do a better job than that. Oh yeah, we can do a way better job than that. I'm gonna split it in two different pieces because I find it's easier to get a nice transition of forms then. Wow, this noodle body is everywhere. Let's hide the noodle. There we go. That way we can kind of still see what's happening in this scene, but then it's not just dragon body. There we go. Ah, it's much better. And now the foot placement begins. Make it a little bit smaller. And then wrap around this torii gate. To do that, I'm gonna see if I can get away with just masking the toes here and then gently curving them. I have a feeling it's not gonna like that. It doesn't like that. Let's see what I can get away with. If I have to manually pose each toe, it's fine. But if I can get some of the way by doing this, like a bend arc, I would like to do that. Yeah. Ooh, Shans is on to art number 2. What is that? I like stress depressed lemon zest. Oh, that's fun. Stress depressed lemon zest. Oh gosh. I like the clunkiness though of difficult lemon difficult. Alright, that did get us some of the way, which I'm happy about. And then from here, we'll give it some more love. I wonder how I can use bend curve for this. That'd be kind of an odd way to use this. But I'm all about using, here we go, ZBrush tools in unconventional ways. Alright, I was hoping that it would change the axis and it didn't. I know I can do that though, so let me figure it out. There we go, I figured it out. I'm like, it's one of these cones, I know that. Yeah, that totally worked to pose that little toe. Cool. And then other small adjustments I can do with the move brush. Having your model really interact with the scene, it does so much. It's always worth it. It's always worth taking time to do that. Got another pose idea for you. Absolutely not. All right, let's grab this toe tube. See if I can kind of spread it out a little bit too. I'm trying to think what it's gonna look the most interesting and dynamic here. Got so much work to do. It's gonna be worth it and awesome. Dragons are always so intimidating to sculpt, in my opinion. They're just so cool. So like you want to do a good job, you know? But just like anything else, they have to go through the embarrassing phase. And sometimes it's hard to see something as epic as a dragon go through the clunk. Just means the payoff is going to be even better. It does help I have a pretty nice base mesh that I achieved on the last stream, so we're definitely not working from nothing. There we are. I'm still thinking about adding like jewelry or like bracelets and other stuff like what Traveler mentioned. Didn't cross my mind initially, but now that you mentioned it, I'm like, oh, that'd be really fun to do more accessories. All right, let's go ahead and widen this up. There we go. Got a good starting point. But if you do a bad enough job, you might go viral. Yay. That checks out, Shans. That explains why you're not sharing pictures. Good call. All right, we're gonna get rid of this lumpy arm as well and replace it. So just like last time, we'll keep this little orb, whatever that's gonna end up being, cut off the hand, and replace it with new hand that we're kind of testing out here. Which is better, but does have its own problems. No, actually, it's just way better. Sick. More effort. Doesn't always look better, so I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but looks like it did end up turning out pretty good. I'm happy about that. I'm going to move this toe out quite a lot. If I can see it from the front wrapping around, it's going to add a lot to the model. We'll have to do a little bit of made up anatomy here, but it's already a dragon, so I have wiggle room. There we go. Not too crazy. Let's make the whole thing bigger as well. Oh, that looks way better than I had before. Good. This foot is also so small. 20% bigger. That's better. Good. Now let's see, just like last time, what I can get away with the bend arc tool. I really want this to wrap. And any distortion I get from it, I find if you just like scale it back and that on the same axis, it does a pretty darn good job. Yeah. Hello, Just Lingual. I turned on the other link and waited for a start, just realized much too late it was the wrong one now. I'm so sorry. It's okay. Difficulties are out of the way and the future should be smooth. I knew it'd be, this is part of the reason why I've been putting off multi-streaming for a very long time. Because I knew it'd be a problem. And I knew it wouldn't be smooth. I did not predict that it is YouTube that would give me the problem. I figured it'd be, you know, the new platform that would give me an issue. But it wasn't, it was YouTube. So that was fun. Keeping me on my toes. Speaking of toes, we're sculpting dragon feet. Very early into sculpting dragon feet. But yes, I'm glad you made it, Just Lingual. How are you? Alright, there we are. That hand on top looks like it needs work. And that's okay. Let's move that over. This is pretty much just gonna be like a more similar to like a human form than you think. I'm always surprised by that. So I'm gonna take the toenails off and then merge down the feet so I can detail them the way I want and do more sculpting. I'm very, very glad that I in fact waited to add detail because I had a feeling once I deformed them as much as I was going to, I would need the space. And I was right. So right now I just appended a sphere so I have a little bit more clay to work with and to cover up any silliness, because there was silliness. There we are. Why do you keep pausing? Let me fix you. It'd be cool if we kept working. There we go. My music like plays one song and then it's like, okay, let's take a little break. I was like, nope, that's the whole point of shuffle, is that you keep going. It's easy to fix though. All right. Starting to kind of get some better shapes in here. That look a little less sausagey and a little bit more like bone. There we go. We're kind of off to a start that I like. We're finding a direction. Excellent. Yes, that looks really good from the front, which is my main focus right now. Yeah, YouTube does not like the purple site. It like knew and it was like, I will not work now. I'm like, oh, you're like an spoiled only child. Which I can say that because I'm an only child. Did you see the new Peak update? I played it yesterday and it's very good. I have not. I pretty much exclusively played... Actually, no, I've only ever played Peak with y'all. I've never played by myself. But that does sound fun. Hello, Clute. Welcome in. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Hello, Mia and fellow peasants. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I like how you think, Traveler. If I put little decorations here, I can get out of some of the hand sculpting, but I also do like how it's turning out. It just took me a second to kind of figure out how I wanted to achieve those forms. I am surprised. I like it farther back. Didn't expect that. It's like I look at the shape and I think I know what it looks like, and then I go to sculpt it and I'm like, oh. That isn't what I would have expected. Even though I literally have a picture of this. Refining your eye for observation is like no joke. Oh, we have our little blob head hanging out here too. I didn't even notice that that was still there. That's great. Do I have the blob body still? No, I don't think so. I think that was just one of the things. But yeah, this was on an earlier stream. This one's only on YouTube right now. But I went from this head to this dragon head. Pretty happy with the improvement. Alright, be gone. We don't need our little blob placeholder any longer. It did its job. Alright. We can get rid of these weird little... these little dragon legs are killing me at the bottom. They're so goofy looking. I'm just gonna delete them. I have them there as placeholders anyway. Whenever it's like a worm-style dragon, I find the best way to handle the back legs is just to draw as little attention to them as possible. Tends to be the best way to do it. Yeah. Alice said, I'm kind of sad no one seems to have noticed, to have seen that I posted in the Patreon chat as well. Oh yeah, I don't even have that up, honey. Oh, I didn't tell them I was going to stream today. Oh, damn it. Cyber's going to be sad. Whoops, I forgot. There's so many things to post to. Oh well. Yeah, I didn't even talk about the stream yet on Patreon chat, Alice, so you're helping me out. Alright, the body looks pretty darn good. I also think I can get away with just not adding back legs to this model at all, because I really don't think it's going to add anything to it. It's just going to make for more noise, and that's not what I want. Can someone do math? I know, I'm sorry. But I'm seriously, can someone do math and see what is the average height of a torii gate? I know they come in different sizes, but like average. And then I would like to know so I can like double that in a little bit, and you can find out how tall this dragon is. It'd be fun. Ooh, that's a very cool decoration idea for the hand. Ooh, I might work on that. Oh, I love those especially. There's just like, well, I can do math. Yeah, someone find out how tall this dragon is. Yeah. All right, I'm going to Dynamesh our tube here. Very nice. And then I think I'd like for the horns to be even more literal on the moon shape, but I'm not certain about it. So what I'm going to do is duplicate the horns, and so now I feel like I have more freedom to really just do what I want. Oh yeah, I already like that better. Kind of reminds me of Suicune. I'm also unsure how I want to handle these secondary horns. I know that I want them, I just don't know what I want to do with them. I shoot for 6 foot, then double it, so 12 feet. I think torii gates are definitely taller than 6 feet. Oh, we're talking in meters. Ah, I'm talking in freedom units. I think that sounds right. What is it? There's a 3 feet in a meter. Yeah. Yeah. So 12 meters. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Beak dragon. Maybe make this a little bit smaller. It doesn't have to be exact, but generally speaking, as the body continues, I would like for it to get a little bit smaller. I also want to fill in any large hollows I have, unless it's interacting with like a shape. If it spills over, then I don't mind. Paint asks Mia, how do you dynamic subdiv a subtool that has details? No. It's just not like a good way to go about doing that. Dynamic subdiv, the only time I use dynamic subdiv, to be clear, we're talking about dynamic, not normal subdivision levels, is when I'm using dynamic thickness. So I do that before details, because it's just a preview of your model. It's not actually happening. Does that make sense? My answer is no. Grand landmarks are between 40 and 110 feet, or 111. The biggest is 111 feet tall. You guys are looking at the same sources. Very good. So almost 40 feet? Okay. I think that's appropriate. I want to make sure this thing was pretty epic and a little, you know, larger than life. This is also helpful for me for when I scale this in Mesh Mixer. I can just grab a little man and I can just keep duplicating him until I roughly get to the point that I'm wanting. All right, this body, this piece is extending a little too far off. Let's flatten that. I can be pretty tubey with this, but I don't want to be too tubey with this. There we go. The shapes are shaping. Paint, what are you using dynamic subdiv for? Or better asked, what are you trying to accomplish? That would be easier for me to then give you advice. Instead of like explaining to you how you can build a house with toothpicks, I'm like, I mean, you could, but like, it'd be better if instead of talking about the tool, we're talking about the goal. Because the tool rarely matters as often as the goal. Does that make sense? All right, I'm pretty happy with that body, actually. And I'm happy with this new version of the horns. I don't know if I love these horns. What are we doing with you? You know, considering what this is supposed to be, which is like a moon dragon, it would be best if I didn't compete information-wise. And instead, I brought these down, and you guessed it, we did whiskers with them. I think that's going to be the move. That's going to be it. Yeah. As much as I do love the mess of lots of horns and lots of detail and lots of stuff, tends to be best when I pare it back a little bit. Okay, YouTube music. It's so funny that YouTube is just not working anywhere. Oh, it's because Ricky is trying to listen to stuff too. That's why. I think YouTube just hates us today because we tried doing stuff without them. Oh well. Okay, sounds good. Silly YouTube. I do one thing, I go to a different platform. I'm still on YouTube, I'm just also on Twitch, and it's like, no, we won't work anywhere. I'm like, alright. I canceled my Spotify just because look, I know it's hard to be a musician. I know that like my one cancellation on Spotify isn't really making a difference, but the amount of like AI music that they've flooded their own platform with to then pay royalties out to, it's just sad. The whole thing just kind of bums me out. I understand that YouTube might do the same thing, but I don't know. It's like the evil you know, I guess. So I decided, I'm like, well, then I just won't use Spotify then. YouTube Music is a bit smaller, so I'm like, maybe I'll use that instead. It is not as good, which I kind of figured. But if you guys have like a platform you recommend to like listen to music that, I don't know, pays its artists, that would be great. I've started switching to just listening to stuff back on like CDs again. Yeah. So tricky. Just trying to do the right thing, you know? Alright, I have a cool thing to show you guys how... Oh, is the dog. Is he present? Okay, Ricky is not here, so I can't send you off. So you're just stuck with me for the next 3 hours. And I cannot play with you. I'm working. He's just looking at this big eye, just like, you know what you're saying. He's gonna be so mad. Maverick, go to bed. Why don't you chew on your bone? You have your toy right in front of you. His eyes are just full of heartbreak. He's like, I cannot believe you're doing this to me, mother. I have to work. He's like, you don't. You have to play with me. Later. You look at all of the attention. Anyway, whiskers. So if you go to stroke, curve mode, bend start, and then enable lock start. This is gonna make it much easier to like change the direction of the whiskers and get something that's really unique. Yeah. YouTube Music AI DJs drive me crazy though. Oh god, no, I don't use that. I just make my own playlist. But yeah, I hear ya. It says there's more than 90,000 Torii gates in Japan. That's incredible. Yes, I will not say the T-R-E-A-T word again. Gosh, if you spell that fast enough, it kind of just sounds like the word again. Be careful. Alright, that's a little too... There we go. You know what I might do with Maverick? I might just put him on the couch. If he gets to sleep on the couch, he does not care if people are hanging out with him or not. As long as he can be on the couch, that is all that matters to this dog, I swear. You know, I actually don't like the whiskers to the composition of this very much. Here, I will do what Just always says, and I will do a little draw over and decide what flow I'm looking for here. Because this is a little faster too. Okay, so I'm going too long. If I do one like here and here. It's something. How are we feeling about whiskers? I thought that'd be a for sure win, but I'm not sure. How would you treat a model that you like but doesn't have enough character? Give them a story-based item or wings or antlers. I find wings or antlers are like this really cheap way to make anything look cool. But by a story-based item, maybe you give them like a war horn, or maybe you give them like a specific like group of flowers that are tied together, or like a really interesting brooch that stands out on their cape. Stuff like that. Goes a long way. Hack and slash minis. It's Clued again. Hello, hello. I tend to focus on the size of the base. So at the end of the day, that will be a game asset. But you can change the base at any time. D&D large got 2, and each size class goes up an inch. This is true. It is sketch time. You know, I wasn't as excited about it. I think I'm just overthinking it. We're gonna throw some whiskers on, and then I'll see how I feel about it. Because I did create this Torii gate, we do have some sense of scale built in here. But on any other mini though, just always keep that in mind, guys. You aren't locked in. You can really change it to what you want. But also, hey, I mean, whatever works too, you know? If it's easier to start with the base size, do that. We're gonna slowly add a bit of a taper to this, which I could have done with my curve brush as well and built that in. There we go. Okay, now that I kind of like just relaxed on how I want to do these whiskers, I'm liking it better. The power of a little sketch. That is kind of fun. Absolutely, Traveler. I agree with that. You guys are trying to make me say the T word. Stop it. Could you give the dragon a goatee? I could, and I am open to that. She's a wizened lady, but she could have a little bit of a chin too. I always do like that on my older dragons. I do like that shape. I'm gonna keep that. Excellent. There's my hand. Very good. And last but not least, let's give a closer look at the wing. I've got some interesting shapes here that I made with like Sculptris Pro, but I want it to be a little more intentional. I mean, gosh, I do like the shape. I wonder if I can just develop this shape and I'll see what happens. Sometimes the answer is like replaying with the base shapes that you have, and sometimes the answer is just committing to what you've got and then seeing how that turns out. And when I don't know what the answer is going to be, I just commit and hope for the best. Alice says, I'm gonna play Goose Game since it was on sale, so only YouTube chat now. Ah, limiting yourself. Only on one platform now, as opposed to 3. All right, let's go through this like bone structure we have here and just make sure there's not any weird transition points. Very good. Anywhere we can obviously see I had that tube added onto it, and kind of just smooth it out. There we go. That is a really cool base shape. I am happy with that. Oh, something kind of cute and wholesome happened yesterday. Ricky has been talking with his high school buddies a bit more because we'll be going back to California to visit in winter. So we'll be there for the holidays and that kind of stuff. And he's talking to them, seeing what they're up to, and both of them have started trying to learn how to draw in like 2D art. And they know what I do with my business and stuff, but Ricky mentioned that I've also been trying to get better at 2D art. And they were like, oh, we want to see. And I was kind of shy about that. I don't really share my 2D art because it's not on the same level as, you know, what I do professionally. And I had a few pieces I was fine sharing and like a few sketches. And so Ricky sent them over. And there's something so beautiful and simple about someone looking at your art just for like what it is, as opposed to like versus like the best of the best. What I'm trying to say is like their reaction was so sweet and so humble, and it was just very, very sweet. And I kind of missed being able to look at my own art with that kind of look. It's good to try and improve and all that good stuff, but it's also good to give yourself a bit of a break and be like, at the end of the day, it is a fun, creative medium, right? So if you're not having fun, to be very reductionist, what's the point? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now, where I'm like, I know I'm kind of like looking at these wings, I'm really thinking of all the different tools and things I can study to approach it, and then I'm like, what if I just develop what's here and see if I like it? You know? Something about that is really freeing. And I thought of some of my students, like just Single in particular, that would help for Empress too. And just thinking like, the more you can get out of your head, the better. Whatever you can do to get to more practicing is worth it. Polygon, or Flip Normal, I'm not sure what name they're going by now. They did a video recently where it's like, most people, like you see like a 60% study, 40% practice. And I could tell where the video was going and they're like, yeah, they're gonna flip the numbers. No, they didn't. They said, instead of 60% study, 40% practice, and just flipping it to be 40% study, 60% practice, they were like, no, it should be 99% practice, 1% study. And that really stuck with me. I was like, oh, yeah, no, that does make sense, actually. So whatever you can do to kind of loosen up on yourself, do it. I think the common thing is like, yeah, I like being a perfectionist, but I'm not a perfectionist. I'm like the queen of good enough, and I still get kind of like sticky mentally when I'm working on stuff, so yeah. It can be many things. Hello, new here. Will the wings print? Empress, you're such a troll. No, I've never printed anything before. Goodness. Just Single said, yeah, I found this week I was so much better because I could stop caring a lot more, and if there was something that felt like more cheating or like borrowing a model or using the exact same proportions, absolutely. Just doing it was better than overthinking it, and then I did better stuff. And that's a perpetual struggle. You'll think that like, oh cool, I figured it out, how to get out of my head. And then there'll be a new way to get into your head. Not to discourage you. Just know that like it's not like a one and done, but each time you think of a way to handle it, awesome. Remember that and add it to your toolkit. All right, so I'm gonna add some more interest, some more plane changes here. And I'm just using my Orb Cracks brush to kind of add some more like vein look to it. I can't remember if I want the like spines of the wings to be visible on both sides or not. I don't think so. I think I just have it visible on one side and then I smooth it out on the other to where it's not as visible. But what do I think I would like? I think I'd like it on both sides. So I'm just gonna make this wider. Dynamesh, yeah, I think that's cool. My dog is chasing his tail. Hence the goblin noises in the background. Maverick, if you could just like self-entertain for 4 minutes of your existence. Just kidding, 4 minutes, I mean like 4 hours, it is a long stream. All right, I'm probably gonna break soon so I can play with my dog for just a touch. And then probably get myself a snack. So start thinking about what sort of treats, oop, I said the wrong word, and snacks you want to get yourself. And we'll be going on a brief break here. Thank you again to Traveler for buying an extra hour for everyone. The tavern shall stay open. If you're enjoying the stream or you want to cause some problems, check out my Ko-Fi, it's pinned at the top. For as little as $5, you can disrupt the stream. It's more just like a fun thing, and Ko-Fi is great because I actually get all of that money instead of giving 30% YouTube back to my overlords. All right, I've done a lot of work on that wing. It's looking a lot more interesting. Oh heck yeah, it's snack time. Mostly because my dog is needing all of the attention. Hello, monkey. I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. But also, I mean, a snack on the hour, I feel like it's always a good thing. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, I'll see you guys in like 5 minutes. Hello, hello. I'm back. Maverick's been put up. He was very, very, very mad. I could tell. He was just like, this is not what I meant. I meant we're gonna hang out on the couch together. And I was like, that was not an option. It is what it is. I do a bit of a in reverse here. I'm gonna listen to the same music backtrack I have on stream right now, largely because my phone is not wanting to play nicely either. So it's been kind of a weird technical difficulty day, right? And I got no problems being real with you guys. I like this dragon. I'm scared of this dragon. I don't like continuing models on stream. I like to start them on stream and then finish them off stream. So I'm doing a couple things here that are a little hard for me than usual. So instead of just putting my head down and doing it and acting like I don't have other plans in my head, I want to share that with y'all. So maybe you can also learn from it, because it's kind of an odd, it's an odd stream for me. So I can work with that. It's like right now, I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get this music working. It's not. So instead of being upset about it, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna simplify a factor, and that's not something I'm gonna use today, which is fine. Let my brain put that to rest. It's incredible that none of that's going to work. You mad about that? Letting it go? Great. So the next thing that I can do here, and this is, the reason why I'm sharing this is because it's kind of like some insight on like being a professional artist and what that looks like. Because these little roadblocks happen all the time. It's like when you go, you're 5 minutes late for something, but then when you drive there, you hit every red light, and so then you're a half hour late. And you're like, man, I know it's my fault a little bit, but not this much. And it's like, how do you like break that cycle mentally as a creative? Because if you're feeling bogged down creatively, it's very hard to create, which is a little unique compared to other jobs. So this is what I do. I took like a minute to see if I can get my headphones to work. They don't want to work. You let it go. Next thing I'm gonna do is like, okay, dragon's been kind of intimidating. What's something that would make it easier for me? This is one of my favorite tricks to do that I don't share on stream really ever, because I don't finish models on stream, I start them. So I'll show you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna call this Moon Dragon Copy. This is silly. It's that simple. Bam. Moon Dragon Copy. Great. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on this knowing it's just a copy. I don't care if these aren't my best wings. I'm not gonna think about the best dragon I've ever done. I'm not gonna think about any of that. I'm just gonna think, what is the next step for each piece, and then go ahead and do that. Hello, Ricky. I made it to the Crentus. I'm so glad. Have fun with dental things. Or Crental? His dentist name is not Crentus. He's making a joke from The Office. Oh, it's nice to see Ricky in the chat. But yeah, so I'm just gonna simplify it like that in my head and show you what that looks like, because otherwise sculpts can kind of eat you up if you're not really careful. And I know this happens to all of y'all in any creative endeavor. So yeah, anytime I can be more transparent about that, I want to. So I can look at this wing and think, I can think about all the things that I don't like. Be like, oh, it's a little blobby here, it's this, what can I do with it? Or I can zoom out and be like, that's kind of a cool shape. It looks kind of like stone-like almost. And I can just keep thinking about the things that I'm enjoying about it and working on it from that perspective. It's a small shift, but there's a lot that I can impart to y'all here, and I'm doing my best to kind of explain it. So now that I have a cooler shape here, I can think about a way to add on to that. And something that I'd like is if it had more of like this webbed effect. So what I'm gonna do is take my standard brush and actually remove material in between each one of these strands. And by strands, I mean like the bone structure. There we go. Ooh, I like the depth that that added. That was pretty cool. I'm making sure I do it on both sides. And whenever I run into like little issues like this where I'm like, that looks kind of weird, just take a brush, bam, and thin it out. Okay, now that's a bit wobbly, you know, there's some more variation in the shapes here. Let's look at the silhouette that it's achieving, because I do like the sharpness as well. Something that'll make your brushes a little sharper and work a little more the way you want is go to Brush, Curve, and enable AccuCurve. And now, make it just a little pinchier, because now that I'm thinking, you know, I kind of like it looking sharp and pinchy. Does that make sense? Yeah. There we go. Shan says, I used to in middle school have a similar way of thinking about my sketchbooks. Oh, I need my sketchbook work to be super awesome and nice and not doodly. No idea how I fixed it. By doing. That's how you fixed it. And that's the hardest part, so good job. And that's why, you know, we spend too much money on craft supplies and fancy sketchbooks and courses. For the love of God, so many courses. Because it almost feels similar to doing, but it's not. Nothing beats just actually doing the thing. So I do want to add, the only thing I'm thinking about here is stuff that I can add, not stuff that I can fix or that I can change. Well, I guess adding is change. But instead of thinking, this looks flat, I need to fix that, I thought I want to add more dimension to this on the side view. So I went from it in that approach. Could I have modeled this in symmetry so I don't have to do the front and back? Yeah, I could have, but I didn't, and that's fine. There we go. Now let's add some texture to these wings. I'm gonna subdivide this a few times and now think about what kind of effect I want these wings to have. Something that might be really cool is to use like my cloth brush and kind of think about how this is stretching too, just like fabric would. And just because I think that might look cool, and that's the reason. Paint, what do you need? What messages? There we go. Sometimes if I miss chat and there's something you for sure want me to see or to answer, you can always pop into our Tavern livestream Discord and I'm much more likely to see it. Otherwise, I just do my thing here. And we're doing the dragon. There we go. Last what we were talking about, paint, was the subdivisions. Yeah, dynamic subdiv, and I was asking what you were working on. If you told me what you're working on, then I missed that. There we go. Kind of got like a stronger shape there, and I'm gonna remove AccuCurve because now I don't want it to be as sharp. There we go. Perfect. I'll do the same thing to the other side. And then once I'm done with this wing, we get to copy it and get some placement. I kind of have a draft placement right now. I think that's where it's going to end up going, but I'm open to moving it. Yeah. I know Twitch is still working, isn't that crazy? I didn't anticipate you guys going back and forth between platforms to talk about that they're working, but you do, and I think it's really funny. All right, I'm gonna add some texture here. I think I have enough resolution for that. I do want it to be a little busy. I think it'd be cool if it looks kind of like crystallized almost. Something that's gonna pick up a dry brush really nicely and be really tasty about it. It's the official terminology. And now I'm gonna layer some scales. I'm gonna use backface mask to prevent any tearing or any funny business. And just start layering this on and see if I like it. I predict I will. But if I don't, I'll try something else. There we go. And then as I keep going, I'm going to reduce the intensity and make them a bit smaller. This is really important. If you just layer on the exact same shape everywhere, it gets kind of hard to look at. And you want it to kind of have a gradation to it. Paint says, I found out it was a process issue of making it and now it looks a lot better. So yeah, cool. That's what I was mentioning when you asked. And I was like, that would not be the tool you want for that. Now making armor for my person, trying to think about posing with how someone would wield a giant cannon. This is true. People don't usually carry cannons like a handheld, but look at like grenade launchers and stuff. You might be able to find something that will feel similar and get some good references for. And that's pretty cool. Get some texture on the inside here. I'm already feeling a lot more loosened up. I just like detail the thing. Move on. I am full of good ideas. Just Single said, did you see what I posted about needing to learn how to actually pose? I posted in the meme section yesterday, so it's not easy to see. I usually look at Discord for some reason when I first wake up, and I do have a very hazy memory of an orc like throwing it back or something. I was like, what am I looking at? It was great. It was great. If you want to get better at posing for the level that you're at, Just Lingual, I think looking up ballet poses or yoga would be a really good place to start. Just go to ZBrush project and grab either the male or the female ZPR and just start there. Pose a naked body. Do not worry about clothes. Don't worry about anything else yet. And as far as like, well, how do I pose? It's sculpting. There's no like cheat way around it. It's sculpting. So it's gonna be a lot of masking, transpose line, and I mean, you can use a 3D gizmo too. And then re-sculpting any deformation areas. So it'd be a good chunk of work, but it's a lot of fun. It's very zen once you get into it, especially. Destroya says something really off topic. Oh boy, 1 second. I just discovered the app Roost. It's a message app that you send messages through birds. Oh, it's cute. And they take days to arrive. And honestly, I love it. That's really sweet. It's kind of like sending a letter, you know? That's very cute. I like the idea of that too. I'm all about anything that makes me slow down at this point. I'm all for it. All right, before I duplicate this, I need to fix some very obvious problems. But first I'll let ZBrush autosave, so I do not invoke the wrath of the ZBrush god. All right, we got a wing. I really was agonizing over this. I did not want to detail it because I was like, oh, I could make it better. It only has 2 primary shapes. I don't know what was going on. I was kind of on a roll of just being cranky. I call it cranky. It's more of like what y'all would call like being a perfectionist or whatever. And I'm like, okay, Mia, are you doing a wing study or are you sculpting a model? And I'm like, oh, I'm sculpting a model. And it's like, how about you go do that? If you ever feel like you're being overly nitpicky with yourself, asking yourself what is the point of what you're doing, that might help you a lot too, Just Lingual. Because if you're like, well, it turns out you're trying to master anatomy and pose lines and line of actions and shape hierarchy and details, you're gonna have a hard time, Did you guys stop using Character Creator to pose? Yes, because I just got faster doing it myself. It was genuinely faster for me to just pose it myself than it was to rig it and do it in Character Creator. We also aren't doing multiple poses per character anymore, because again, it's a ton of work to clean up the pose if you do anything that's like super fun. I have it down to where I can do a pose from start to finish and clean up in like 15-20 minutes. And the few times that Character Creator does not want to play nicely, and I know you know what I'm talking about, it just hasn't been worth it. And I missed posing, and it was fun to just kind of do all of it myself again. I've talked about this a little bit, but interestingly, with the biggest effect I've noticed AI has had on my work is it's made me work slower. And not because I'm sad, but because I just want to do everything myself now. and take my time and really enjoy every step. Really think about, you know, putting some soul into it. And obviously it doesn't mean that y'all shouldn't use tools. Use tools. This is something that I'm just doing for me. Ooh, those wings are fun. Ah, so you redo it all? How delightful. For posing? No. But you do have to resculpt stuff. I recommend, if you want help with posing, to pose, again, just the body. That'd be a really good place to start. I already know that I'm gonna want this orb to look cool. So let's make it look cool. I'm gonna Dynamesh it, subdivide a few times. I'm gonna punch a shape into it. Draw a little spiral. Just so there's some texture to start there. Soften it a little bit. And now I'm going to use a spiral brush. It just makes the effect a little stronger. It gives it something to hold on to, I guess. We all just need a little something to hold on to. There we go. Perfect. Here's good help. If you need help with posing, try becoming more of a poser. And Monkey said, yeah, there's cleanup. Yeah. And it just became faster to just do the whole process myself rather than deal with character creator cleanup. The problem, though, and you know this, Monkey, is that if you want to do like normal posing, there's more you have to know because you can like break the bounds of anatomy a lot more. So it took me, I was slower at first, but eventually, once I got more comfortable, I got faster. Does that make sense? Yeah. What if instead of a spiral, you try ZBrush patterns on the orb? There are different ZBrush patterns we could use. I do like my spiral though. By ZBrush patterns, do you mean like literal pattern? Because that is a thing. ZBrush has like these built-in little patterns. It would be cool if I used that ornament brush that I had, number 14. Because I used that on all the other pieces in my Moondragon Monastery. And it'd be kind of cool if I just add this like trim, maybe to the outside. Just a little something. I'll just throw it on there. I kind of like it. I'm gonna keep my spiral though. Just for some shape difference, you know? So it's not a perfect orb. And then maybe, let's see, what would I do with this? I do it like this. Like this. I find it's best just to try it. I think what I'm gonna do is just draw a straight line across it. Let's see if I can get it a little cleaner. If I'm turning off perspective helps with the wrapping. See? Yeah. Maybe I'll just do a band. Might be a little more interesting. Maybe I'll even do two, that kind of like the impression that it's two different moving bands. All right, let's see how that looks. Where am I? It's something. I think it's a little more eye-catching, a little more interesting just this roll. Maybe like a large prayer orb. That's a better idea. I already have that sculpted, but then I have to repose the hand. It's okay, Mia. It would be cool if it was holding the prayer wheel that I already sculpted and that I used to make with the staff. So if you're not familiar, this is how Moondragon Monastery is coming out. Super, super cool. This thing, if it was holding this thing, that would be awesome. But this is not a sphere. And I currently have its hand posed around a sphere. But looking awesome. Here, let me just throw it in there and see what I think. This kind of has two perks. One, it's a high detail, cool focus element. And two, it does unify more of the collection, which obviously I like. At the very least, putting these little prayer wheels at the bottom on the base would be nice. Would be a good touch. All right, I move that over just by copying and pasting tools. At the very, very least, adding that to the base is just a nice touch. Yeah. Hello, Aloha. Love the visual update and multi-stream vibe. Hopefully we don't get banned. I hope not. Oh gosh. You missed the, oh wow. You missed the having to fight with it initially, but it did work out. It did eventually work out. Don't you have a texture base on the prayer wheel? If not, should. Very cool. Texture base on the prayer wheel. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm trying. That's the first time ZBrush has crashed this week. It used to be every stream though, so back to the dredges. You're so well behaved. Alright. Alright. It's a sphere. And it's a swirl. We're moving on. And let's go back to bring in our scales. And let's see how we can get this body looking. I do like the idea of it holding a prayer wheel that I've already sculpted. There's something cool we can do with that though. Especially, I think Traveler, you mentioned like inscribing the horns with, you know, I haven't just lingual. Either way, you guys are also creative. It makes them up sometimes. Doing some inscriptions on the horns would be very, very cool. I do want to detail the horns too. Okay. This is our moon dragon. Let me go ahead and save that. This is our moon dragon coffee because we're not actually sculpting. We're doing just a trial run. The moon patterns featured on the prayer wheel. Oh, I just sculpted those myself. That isn't like a pattern from ZBrush. That's just me. The moons. So something cool about that though is I found a brush in ZBrush called Script, and I think it's called Script. Rune? I will never find it again, but essentially it functions like a curved brush, which is very, very interesting. Ooh, was that it? Is it Scribe? Yeah, Scribe standard. So this is how I did it. Yeah, like this. There you go. That's how I did all those moons. I used a brush. I just drew them on myself. And what's cool is you can like edit it afterwards. Very, very interesting. I'm not used to that. Pretty cool though. Yeah, inscribing the horns would be really cool. I might use this brush to do it, but well, at the very least, since we're here, I'll go ahead and put a moon on it. Now it kind of feels like Dragon Ball. I do like that. I actually like that a lot. Traveler, you always have good ideas. Let's see if I can draw. There's no lazy mouse on that. That's the only thing. So I need to do my best to not be all wobbly. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. Divide this. Make them a little bit smoother. I'm going to ZBrush them. There, and I like that arch a bit more. I also want them to be asymmetrical. I have mini ones for this model. Perfect. And let's go ahead and do a copy of the horns and see if we can get these looking cooler. I'm just going to focus on one because then I can just mirror it over. Usually what I do is like a horn starter and then I duplicate and trim that up. But for this one, I think I want to do more of a hand sculpted approach. So the first thing I need to do is get some plane changes in here. Otherwise it's just gonna look like a tube, which is fine. But I do want it to have more of a clear shape at the base. Like it's coming out of something. I'm gonna have polish turned on. And I also would rather not have the copy existing. There we go. How do I want to do this? Ooh, I have an idea. Something that'll really help me get these plane changes going is going to be the slash brush, and then I can build up the form on the other side. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. So let's kind of get this shape started. And then I'm going to smooth out this transition point here. Great. Kind of got that started. It's kind of look a little bit like a cap. Depending how we detail this traveler, it's going to be like a little jewelry cap, which is perfect. I got my horn cracks. I want to be really clear of the delineation. Taking it from a finicky detail to paint to a fun detail to paint. There we go. Perfect. And now let me grab that cool brush I have, Scribe Standard, and let's talk about inscriptions. Even just having like a swirl is really neat, but obviously the more moonlight can get it, the better, yeah? I mean, you can always add a jewel. I could always add a jewel. Is it too cheesy to just put literal crescent moons on it? I don't think so. I actually really like it. Let's just do a bunch of little crescent moons. Let's just do them by hand. And then I think on the back side, I'll have this really pretty... Alright, I'm starting to have fun. It's really pretty cut through the top. Can I invert this? Ooh, I can. Wow, I'm a big fan of this brush. This, you're gonna be on my UI. Oh yeah. Now if I could just figure out how to get Lazy Mouse to work with you. Oh, you just turned it on. I don't know why I didn't think that was gonna work. We're in business. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yes, that's really the best I could have hoped for. So neat. I'm gonna embed some pear-shaped jewels into the base of the horn too. Probably just one. I would like if it was lower. And obviously I want to fit with the flow. I did put this line right in the middle, so I might just opt instead for putting these jewels down the front of the face. It's kind of just sitting on top. Let's lower you just a touch. There we go. And then another small one. Just a nice little detail. I don't have to think too hard about it. Do love me some gems. And I think I'm gonna put that another jewel kind of towards the top here. I really think that there'd be room for that. Yep. Just a nice little subtle little adding. How about a little bit of a dangly piercing at the top of the horn? I have been thinking about that. The 3D printer in me is like, don't do it. But the artist in me is like, do it. I could make it work. I could do it. What's the worst that could happen? Let me add a little bit of surface noise to this too. And by a little bit, I mean a little bit, ZBrush. There we go. Ooh, I do need another inscription on the back. Right here. And right here. Perfect. Those are really cool. I haven't sculpted horns like that really ever. Just gonna duplicate and mirror it. And let's see how it's looking. Oh, that's pretty sick. Pretty cool. Very happy with that. So here's what we had before, and here's what we have after. That's pretty nice. Gonna delete our placeholder and center it a little more dramatically and reduce the resolution. Good deal. What's the worst that could happen? File corruption to override computer, hard drive, and breaking your whole work computer. But that's very unlikely. It is unlikely. Don't put that evil on me. I'm so glad that you guys like the new overlay. It is made entirely in-house by Ricky. Very, very, very happy with it. There's so much AI garbage with stream overlays now, so just like, we'll make our own. And seriously, on a more positive note too, it's just awesome. It's fun. When you make stuff yourself, you can fully customize it too. And God, Ricky just killed it. I was just shocked when I saw it. It feels like the Taverb, it feels like my style, and it has my art on it. So yeah, how nice is that? Oh, I guess I'll save. That's very responsible. Yep. It popped up on the wrong monitor, but it did come up. There. I did it. All right. And let's continue. I got some plans for this hair. We're gonna have some crazy hair. I am very excited about it. So I created this with the Danny Mac hairbrush. You can absolutely just make your own. You can absolutely, it's just a curve brush that tapers. What I like about those, I have all these little pieces that I can then kind of lift off and create more layers, more fun. Oh my gosh, that just brings it to life. Also, did like that wing is muddying my silhouette. So what I'll do is I'll make this pure black. I will select the wing and I will see where it looks best. Just in silhouette mode. This is what I call like sculpting in black. This is what I mean. It just means I'm focusing on the silhouette. It'd make my life easier if I moved the gizmo to the rotation point. I didn't plan on doing this weird low angle thing. I really just wanted to have one wing, but I know that wouldn't make sense. Well, actually, I could kind of achieve that if I just make it go the other way. Amazing. Let's see if we can make that possible at all, anatomically. It is a dragon, so we have a little bit of leeway, but not infinite leeway. I'm gonna tuck this wing behind that shoulder blade the best that I can. Just a good enough placement. And now let's see if I can fold this other, where are you going? I'm gonna fold this other wing back as close as I can. I'm also going to use a bend arc to straighten it out a touch. Very good. Because I haven't curved the wings at all, they're just kind of like straight pieces of cardboard at this moment. All will be adjusted later. Okay, that's totally going to work, and I do think that balances the model better. Why is it so hard to find your little pivot point? Right here. There we go. It's very important when you're using the gizmo to move things around. You put the gizmo where it's rotating around, otherwise you're going to have problems. And frustration. Yeah. I never save horns or teeth. I feel like they're easy enough. I can always make them bespoke to the model. So yes, just lingual, but hear me out. Sometimes just creating that base shape and then sculpting from scratch on top of that, it's worth it. That's why I have like pants, base mesh, you know? Are there a lot of things you can do with pants? Yeah. But the initial sculpting stage of them looks so similar, I might as well just have it. But I agree with you, I rarely save like sculpted, detailed, finished versions of horns or teeth, but I do think it's worth having the base mesh. All right, we have this one, we have this one. I'm gonna try something out here where I'm gonna take these wings and I'm just going to pivot them a touch. Because I'm still undecided how these wings are going to play into this. You know what? It's sketch time because I can't figure out what I want with these wings. Alright, here's a shoulder. Obviously, I seem happy with this shape here. And it would make sense that I also do the same thing on the other side, like that. But it just feels very flat. So maybe what I'll do is I'll curve them towards the camera, and maybe that's the element that I'm missing. Okay. This is why we sketch things. I thought hiding the wings side by side would solve my problem. And it didn't. And it didn't. So instead, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it roughly into place. All right, it has been roughly put into place. And now we're gonna duplicate this wing just in case I make terrible decisions and I have to undo it. All right, now that I have this wing, I'm going to bend it towards the camera. And so I always design with a like alpha angle in mind, which even though it's a 3D model, I always like having an idea of what I think is like the main, the shot or the angle in which I'm like designing the model to be viewed from. You don't have to do this as much when it comes to 2D art because it's kind of like baked into the cake, but yeah. Just Lingual says, you think so? I'll start doing that based on your advice then. Yes, I do think so. I do think it's faster. Okay, that looks really screwed up. I want to grab something though to show you just Lingual. Because what I find is if you just have to like create a tooth or a horn really quickly, what you do is you kind of tend to do the same shapes over and over again, unintentionally. But if you create a base shape with intention, like if you just made a pack for yourself of each one of these horns, they're gonna look so much different. And then grab these to then maybe combine or kit bash them in detail from there, you'll get more interesting shapes. And I recommend finding stuff just like this to make your own set. It's a good time. All right, why are we so busted? Why are we so throwing a fit? I know we're a little wobbly. We're gonna mirror and weld you like I should have done in the beginning. But I chose pain for whatever reason. But luckily, I'm just working on a copy right now. So it's okay if this workflow isn't my favorite workflow. Because this is just a for fun thing. If you don't get my I understand like I'm being very facetious. It's because like I'm kind of in my head today about sculpting. So something that I do is I just create a copy of my model and then I decide that I'm just doing a test. And it's dumb, but it works every time to get me out of my head and focus on just sculpting, just making the darn thing. I still don't love what this was doing to this model. So instead what I'll try is using a bend curve modifier instead. Usually bend arc does a really good job. But I guess I'm needing something a little more precise. I just think if I have these wings stretching towards the camera a bit more, I'll have a really cool look. Let's try it out. I like using as few points as possible, getting your start and your end point, and then only adding new nodes when you have to. Sure enough, this is working much better than what I did before. And now I can really customize how this shape is going to look. What's really cool is you can twist these nodes. It's a really powerful tool. All right, that's kind of a cool shape. Now let me rotate it back. These wings need help. Duplicate and mirror. Meh. Don't have a solution for these wings yet. But I spent a good little time thinking about it. So the next thing I do is move on. I think I'm overthinking it. Nothing wrong with overthinking stuff because you're just trying to put in your best effort. But also know when it's time to give yourself a break and just move on. Alright, on to the body. Which I'm really excited for this. I want to see what kind of cool like scale details I can get going. There's so many different options and like flows that you can create. It's one of my favorite parts. Especially on a dragon as noodly and interesting as this one. Kind of wrap these around. These are some cool like little fringe details. Sweet. I'm gonna remove the whiskers so I can kind of get closer to the body. And then I will also kind of tweak and adjust things as I see them. Alright. Here is our very lumpy, strange body. Let's see what kind of scale flow we want here. Yeah. Right? Traveler says, I kind of like it. The curve has something to it, idea-wise. I see the idea in it. I do too. The way that I constructed the wings is bothering me. But I'm going to let it go for right now and come back to it later in interest of my own sanity. So yes. All right, here's our flow. Usually I like having, you know, like body plates on the front and then like intense scales on the back. And as it transitions to the front of the belly, which is gonna be smoother, there'll be little groups of scales in between. I have some ideas of what plates I would like. This is one that I'm pretty sure that I would like. Let's also make sure the topology on this is laid smoothly. It is. Just making sure no one area is especially dense or strange. All right, this is 24. I'm just gonna do the neck. These are gonna be pretty samey in size. And then if I need to, I will mask all my transition points. Usually, if I'm just really careful, I don't have to. There. It's important to really take your time and not be in a rush when doing this. Yeah, like that first shape I laid on there, wasn't really happy with it. There we go. So on one hand, you know, you don't want to be in a rush, but on the other hand, know when you're just trying out some body scales, and that's like the beauty of using VDM brushes, so you can really quickly iterate and see, is this the shape that I'm gonna want? There we go. That's more of the flow that I wanted. All right, that has a pretty good blended transition side too that I can sculpt from. Yeah, this is true. Dragons do be magic. Okay. So that was 24. I think I'll remember that. And now let me think about how I want the side clusters to work. I'm also going to hide the wings for right now because I really think I'm just going to design different wings. But I don't want to jinx myself. I'll deal with that later. Ooh, I do. There's so many different options for scales, and they're all going to have a very different effect on how the dragon reads. I do like the sharp clusters, but that is, when it's busier like this, that's the kind of design I usually put on the like spine as opposed to the side or the belly. Yeah. One for the belly pattern, maybe one for the body. It's going to be two different styles. So the belly and the spine will be different, and then really you should have a transition scale in between them too. Do have the best effect. I do like this busier shape for the ridge. And then if I need to get into like tight spots like this, all you do is mask and then you can hide sections. There we go. So we kind of have that more intense, which I'm just trying out. I'm seeing what's going to mix and match best. So I have 24 and 5. I am going to write these down because it's a big brush and I might feel dumb if I lose core pieces to it. I'm back. All right, so I'm trialing out for 24 and 5 right now. For a serpent style, should the scale be sleek or snake-like? It can be really whatever we want. All right. Let me see. And then how do I want to blend this down? I love having a bit of a more textured spine and then something softer on the sides. I still want to match. So we will continue scale shopping, if you will. Using just like a heavy texture like this can be pretty nice too. And if it's not the size that you want, all you do is mask an area. I mean, you could create a new custom brush from scratch, or you can just mask the area that you want, and then you can drag it as large as you want. That works really, really well in my experience. Ooh, I like that. These even better, I think, for the belly scales. I want a pretty generic flat belly scale. Probably a spiky or ridge, and then it's the side that's gonna be, I think, my favorite section of it. The side transition area, I predict I'm gonna use 2 different types of scales to blend. Yeah, I don't want it more gator-like. Ooh, I think that's the answer. I think something like this. It almost reads, I've used textures like this to actually look like feathers, especially around like a bird's neck. Let me just get this on, and then I can see what I think about it. All right. I do like those side scales a lot. I like how textured they are, but I like that they do kind of fold over themselves, kind of like a snake. Shark scales. Do sharks have scales? I thought sharks was kind of like rough and leathery. But for some reason you say shark scale and I have a very specific, like I see it, but I think about it and I'm like, that's not a thing, right? Like I'm thinking something kind of like this. All right, I like this, I think it's cool, but I think the belly scales aren't it. So let me do a different belly scale. I want something, I think, a little bit more ornate on the belly, actually, which is interesting. I don't normally do that. Something, please stop moving, ZBrush. Something kind of like this, which looks much more ornate. So I'm gonna get rid of 24. Taking notes. That's cool. Not what I'm wanting. This more detailed one I'm a big fan of. Let me see where this gets us. I'm also gonna try going top down. I usually go bottom up so I can like layer it better, but interestingly it seems like the other way might work better for this one. Getting like major deja vu after saying that. Ooh, I do like that. I like that it shows the fold a bit more, you know? Yeah. I remember one type of shark has a skin/scale type They use this natural sandpaper. Oh, that's so interesting. I've never heard of that. I mean, I guess if you zoom in, like under a microscope, it'd be pretty rough. That makes sense. You can clean up that area later. All right, and now I'm gonna go back to 40. Because I do like this better. Mask my side, make it a little bit larger. And then I don't want it to be right here because I want to have a really clear direction change. So important that you lay these on in the direction that you are wanting. Whenever you have like a significant direction change your mask, do it again. There we go. Doing the same thing on the other side. I am running out of room for the ridge detail a little bit, but that is okay. Because of the way I laid these on, I know I can smooth it out. Because I have subdivision layers. Very fancy. Alright, Traveler put in a picture. It kind of reminds me of kind of like the scales I'm doing now, except these are a little rounder. Either way, I think we're on the same page. Those are a type of fish scale. Those are very cool too. Aren't sharks technically just fish? We're reading that somewhere. And being surprised by it. Alright, and last but not least, some sort of ridge here, which I'm really wanting like some sort of armored look. I think Empress put this in my head to have this like armored ridge. I know it might make more sense to have it lay down like this, but for the, you know, purpose of 3D printing, it would be nice if they all poked up. I'm probably gonna cover the spine with a bunch of hair anyway, so I don't need to be too picky with this. I say that out loud, but we both know I'm gonna pick the best option for this still. Ooh, I like that. Let me try that out. I need to isolate this section here so I can see. I might have a lot of success blending these two textures too. A little bit of a mask brush. I like that. I think this is going to lend well to then add, because you're going to want to go through and then add like individual scales to really blend them through. Yeah. Fish is a meaningless word. Oh my goodness. I can get behind that contextually. It's incredibly broad. That's fair. Also, did I not write down which belly scales I use? This is why I had pen and paper and I immediately forgot to use it. Sad. I think it was this one, 25. Yep. Good job, me. 5 and 25. Makes it easy to remember. So close to 24. All right, now I'm looking for individual scales, which this might not be it. I have a different brush for that. Yeah. All right, scales, VDM all. No, single. Thank you. These are big brushes. Okay. That's not it. And this is just what I'm using to kind of blend the two together, but I obviously need to find the right scale. That might be perfect. It's going to be something kind of subtle, and there's going to be a lot of attention that goes into this. That's why it's so nice having this like cluster brush. It throws a lot down. And then what I do spend time, you know, manually adding details to has a large impact, which is my favorite way to sculpt. Yeah, let's bring that contrast slider up just a touch. I might be doing a little bit more smoothing. Yeah, right here. That kind of gives me a little bit more room to blend this in. I really like this single. So single 7. Hello, Shans. Welcome back. Just went through my duplicate Copic markers and inks and to inventory them all. Whew, that sounds like a lot of work. Are you happy with your stock right now? Or are you looking at refilling? That transition area, gosh, that adds so much. Let's see if I can do it before and after. All right, belly scales, side scales, and now we're starting to add the transition area, which is what gets, like, what looks the coolest. Oh, it was for work. Blah. That's less exciting. I'm gonna say, I'm like, ooh, Copic markers, fancy. Also, my camera is totally far over. What if I just move this? Oh, I'm backwards. Okay. We did lots of moving today, so I might as well be picky on this. Bam! Fix. I'm now centered again. Okay, back to scales. Smooth that down as much as I can. Have some larger scales towards the outside, and then just kind of thinking about how they would fold over each other the best that I can. I don't mind having a couple of scales that are kind of out of place too. I think it makes it look more organic. I don't like this little area though, which got pretty chewed up. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you're gonna buy custom brushes, that's great and all, but if you can't sculpt the thing, you're gonna have a really hard time in moments like this. So now I need to create these plates where it didn't do a very good job. There we go. Didn't do a very good job folding, right? So I'll do it manually. So I'm gonna use my slash brush to achieve this. And customizing my brush to get it as most comfortable for me as possible. And here we go. I get this question a lot too, where it's like, well, if you can just sculpt it yourself, why use a brush? Because I just went through like 10 different iterations of like trying different scales out, and it's so nice to be able to go like scale shopping, essentially, is the best way I can fit it. You can try out a bunch of different shapes really quickly. And then once you're like committed to a shape, you can make sure it blends all nice and whatnot. There we go. Very nice. I wonder how small I can go with these scales. I do find adding some tiny little scales really makes the whole thing sing. Just gonna add some itty bitty details, and then I'll be able to use this section kind of as my blueprint for detailing the rest of the body. We got some funny business going on right here as well, so I'll just smooth it out and then reconstruct it. Pretty often too, if you're just really careful when you're laying down these custom brushes, you won't have to do this either. But I wasn't being super careful. I mostly just wanted to get the concept down. It really comes down to just like sculpting styles and how much time you want to spend. Art can be a bit of a game of like, well, how much time you got. So you have to be careful with what is like really worth your time and maybe what's not so worth your time. Ooh, we're getting a pretty impressive look here now. That's what I was hoping for. Hello, hello. We're working on the moon dragon some more. Oh, I didn't realize that I had put this scale on here. We weren't ready for you yet to go away. Sweet. Made some pretty good changes to this today. I'm really happy with the direction that we're going. There we go. Nice. All right, well, I'm probably just gonna continue this down the body. I think that'll be the best spend of my time right now. And I did a good job actually writing down which scales that I use so I can do it pretty easily. Monkey said, the brushes I use most outside of the basics are scales, fur, wood grain, leather, patches, stone metal surface, and wounds and bolts. That makes sense. Let's see. Patches, I don't have a patch brush. I just do those by hand. Stone and metal texture especially, though. I just prefer grabbing an alpha for that. Those are not my favorite to sculpt. Hack and Slash says, this is why I charge more, to sculpt scaled, feathered, and furry companions or commissions. I get you. It's the sheer volume of scales and having to refine even if you use an IMM brush, right? Absolutely. Okay. I think it was 25 was the belly. All right. Refining my notes, because I'm probably not going to finish this today, but I'll need to know what I did later. All right, what is number 5? 40 is the side. 25, I'm pretty sure was the belly. Yes, it was. What was 5? Why did I even write that down? Oh, we're not even using that anymore. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I only need 3 brushes. Cool. 40 for the side, 25 for the belly, and 7 for the individuals. Very good. Let's continue on with the belly. Using back-face mask and my masking brush. I did draw a line so I could keep track of where is the belly and where is it turning, but I kind of like I lost the plot a little bit. So we're going to draw a line so I know where the top of the model is. All right, looks like it comes here, around. I definitely have some leeway of deciding how this body is going to turn, but I would like to more or less nail it down. There we go. There we go. This is an insane body shape. Wow. Sweet. I now know very clearly where the top is. That's gonna make my life 1,000 times easier. Now that I have my blueprint, so to speak, let's go color in between the lines. Yeah? Yeah. Also, curse you, Wizards of the Coast, for making scale mail the most effective armor sets for clerics. Gosh, isn't that the truth? That's why I know how to do scale mail at all. You can replicate a stitch brush pretty easily with a slash or dam standard. Oh, stitch. Yeah, I thought you said pouches. I said the wrong thing. I will use this. Oh, I hear what you're saying now. I hear what you're saying. I usually just take a tube brush and just make a little cross and then duplicate it everywhere. But again, that's just usually. It depends on the day. Because sometimes I use like ornamental trim brushes as my stitch brushes. If I'm feeling fancy, or if just the character is fancy. Okay, don't fall apart on me here. Where is the top? What is that? This piece doesn't possibly make any sense. What is that touching? Ah, that's okay. Let's just bring you in so you make sense. Gosh, I feel like you do this enough, you could get motion sick. We're spinning. I'm just holding in there, doing a good enough job. Making sure it has love and care and attention without making it consume my entire soul is quite the challenge with dragons. There it is. Okay, that little area is very hard to get to. That's fine. And usually I would, I do brand new characters on stream. I don't continue work. But I did a lot of work yesterday and got ahead. So it means I ran out of characters to queue up. I gotta finish this pack until I have more characters to do. Which is like a good problem and a bad problem at the same time, you know? Alright, we mostly got belly scales all the way down. I just want to get them on there, and then if I need to go back through and sculpt them, that's fine. Alright, so that is the belly. Yes. Okay, cool. It means we ended up in the right spot. Oh, gosh. Yeah, we are live on Twitch. We sure are. Traveler says, no stream tomorrow if no more tips. Why no tips? Buy me a coffee. If you're enjoying the stream, I would super appreciate if you checked out my Ko-Fi. We have a $50 tip donation goal per week. If we reach it, I do an extra stream on Thursday. We did reach it last week, so we're actually a week off right now. So we do have a stream plan tomorrow, Traveler, so no worry. If we hit our stream goal this week, it means we'll have a bonus stream next week, if that makes sense. Regardless, your donations always go somewhere, as I'm trying to say. And they're always very appreciated. All right, and we continue. But never fear, there will be another stream tomorrow around noon Eastern time. Here's number 40. All right, time to do this side scales. This will be a little trickier. I like the spine scales a lot, but I'm not too pressed about them. Yeah. What's happening? It makes sense because it's not just the belly, it's weight from the sides pressing over as weight rested on the gate. So technically that would have been belly scales and side scales. Honestly, I'm spinning this around so much, I am very confused. All I know is that what I meant to get done, I did correctly. This is exactly the belly orientation that I wanted, and we did it. Feels like a racetrack. I'm like, are we talking about turn 3 or turn 2? Gosh, how many turns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about a dozen. About a dozen. Yeah. The way I'm going to do this now is I'm going to make my life a little bit easier. Crazy, I know. And I'm going to mask and hide pieces as I go, just so I can get these really nice transitions. Because the transition from the belly scales to the side scales is my favorite part. And it's also where I want to leave room so I can do those really nice individual clusters that I add. So yeah. All right, we're gonna polygroup this, we're gonna polygroup that, and we're gonna polygroup all these different turns of the racetrack. There we go. Now I can attack this in pieces. Nice. There we go. And now we got all these fun multicolored pieces here on our dragon. Oh my goodness, it's so much work, it's great. Maybe a quick belly body paint for clarity. No, what I did to solve that is, that's a real pen. I drew a line. So this line right here, oop, wrong pen. This line, that is the top, that is the spine. And I made sure to do that line all the way through. I'm so sorry, it sounds like I'm asking questions. I'm not asking questions, I do know what I'm doing. I kind of just, it's the way that I think and the way that I talk. I'm not actually asking for help, if that makes more sense. My bad. That is my bad. Because I'm literally asking questions. I know where everything is. It's like looking at someone's notes for like a difficult class and look like absolute insanity. Which makes sense that nobody would understand my notes other than me. But I'll do better about not asking questions I don't want answers to. For the Tory Gate belly turn. For this? Yeah, that's... I don't know why I'm discussing this. This is correct. I don't care. No. This is what I wanted. This is exactly what I had in mind. That the belly would come down here and sit on top and then bend behind it. My notes are noting. All right, let's get these side scales in. There's the side. I'm gonna do the same technique I did earlier where I kind of like gently mask the sides and then add in these big ol' scales. I will do one at a time though, left and right, just to make sure that I don't accidentally bleed over to the other side. There we go. It is gonna turn right here pretty soon. There we go. We'll do it like this. There we go. Perfect. Now I have tons of room to add those little individuals, which is my second favorite part, I guess. My favorite part is the belly to the side scale transition. And then like the spine scales are just like, they're there because they need to be there. I don't have very strong feelings about them. I might cover them with hair. We'll see. Yeah. Traveler says, no, scales wouldn't be seen. I don't know why my brain wants scales there. I get what you're saying now. And I do have scales. They're just a little mumbled. A little mumbled. Just Lingual says, I think asking questions is good. It's good to see what kind of thought process you use. That's true. Traveler's like, no, my brain's also looking at details and positioning. I hear ya. I hear ya. We're all doing the communicate. I like what I said earlier where I'm like, compared it to like a racetrack. Ooh, I need to do something cool here. Some sort of like fat bend. I'll do that with like a, ooh, I like that. That's gonna be really cool. I don't want to get too distracted. That's my way of saying me, I don't get too distracted. But I love being able to sculpt organic forms that sit on each other. Always cool. Oh, I don't want polygroups. What is this? What is this? Why are you being dumb? You shouldn't even act like there's a polygroup there when I sculpt on that. See how there's a line here? That doesn't understand. That happens when you have like mask by polygroups turned on. Here's a good example of that where it won't go into the other area. But I have it turned to 0. So why are you acting like it's there? That's illegal. What if I make it one polygroup? Ooh, it's still there. Oh, that makes me afraid. Is that gonna do that everywhere? No, just on that one spot. Why? I don't know. So I'll move on. All right, all that confusion was, if you have a subtool, you can create things called polygroups by masking and hitting Control W. And a polygroup just means it, one, turns a different color when you have the wireframe turned on, and it means you can grab that. Each color is like its own piece. Not different subtool, but a piece within the subtool. And this is cool because there's no distinction. You can just sculpt straight through them and hide stuff. But I'm laughing because for some reason I am getting seams, which is also another feature in ZBrush. You can enable stuff like mask by polygroup and turn that on a slider from 0 to 100. And it's acting like it's on a little bit. This is partly because I used a very outdated version of ZBrush. My version is now almost 5 years old. So it's probably just a bug. If I restart ZBrush, I'll probably fix it. But I don't want to restart ZBrush. I want to just keep working. So yeah. Internal geometry. Nope. Nope. That is not the issue. It is just being silly. I guarantee if I reset my brushes, it would fix it. But if I reset my brushes, I have to reload in my scale brush. I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. There's a few other quirks in this older version of ZBrush. One of them being if you hold Command Shift and click, it should select that poly group of what you're on. However, if your trim brush is selected to knife rectangle instead of trim rectangle by default, it does this other weird thing where it will just grab an individual poly loop. And I can fix it by changing the default selected brush again. I've gotten really good at all the like goofy little quirks and stuff in my version of ZBrush, which maybe will be changed soon. I might actually get a big kid new version of ZBrush. We'll see. We will see. Turning off back face mask also seemed to make it happy. But joke's on you, I must have that on so you don't rip through the mesh. Let's keep going. Making that on the large side still. And we're gonna just keep going. We're gonna lay down some material. Excellent. I actually have a really good spot right here where I can see what the heck is going on, which is nice. Very nice. I so hate how ZBrush has double turned on by default. Oh, doesn't. I was gonna say, I'm like, it does. But no, you're right. It doesn't have it turned on by default. Double is so you can see the inside of your mesh. So if it's a single-sided mesh, it will appear invisible when you look inside of it. So for example, invisible, double, not invisible. This confuses people a lot when it comes to designing in ZBrush for 3D printing because they think that their mesh is hollow. It's not. I mean, it might be, but that's not how you find out whether or not it's hollow. That's a whole other topic though. When in doubt, just Dynamesh your model down. Close holes in Dynamesh. And if you're like, but man, that destroyed my detail. Yep. You want to, really the best way to do it is to make watertight meshes and then boolean them down. You'll keep all of your delicious detail. And, wow, I'm really flying through these scales right now. I should talk more about 3D printing when I sculpt. And you'll have a watertight mesh. So that's my favorite way to do it. It's just kind of, I call it like post-processing as I go. It's just making sure I don't have any like really janky meshes as I work. Otherwise it always comes back to bite me. I need to get closer to the belly. That's a way different size right there. That's okay. We won't be too picky. A lot of these twists and turns are kind of hard to see as well, which just give yourself a break. It means that you don't have to make it absolutely perfect. Just do your best. All right, that's a pretty good lay. Now let's get those spine scales on and then the best, the detail. All right, 25. Where's the spine? I have 40 for side and 25 for belly, and I don't have the spine written down. I scratched it out because I thought I didn't need it anymore. Why did you do that? I think it was 5. Nifty says, great thing I found out is to sometimes sculpt from the inside out. Roundness of eyes, for example. Oh, bizarre. Interesting. I've used that to fix stuff before. Yeah, it was 5. So I did need 5. 5 is for the spine. 5 spine. All right, so I have my like dragon recipe here. All my ingredients. Have fun. That's pretty rough. Let's do it like this. Maybe reduce that intensity. Is this really the same brush? It is. Okay. One. And we just keep layering and layering and layering. I've done faster ways of scaling dragons and stuff, but I find that just nothing looks as good as laying stuff down intentionally. Oh, also Nifty, very cool of you to share your pictures of the lunar eclipse. What a fun adventure. Of course, my first thought was like, I don't see that here. I don't understand. And I was like, ah, that's right. We're not on the same side of the globe. That does make sense then. Looks like it was a pretty good one too. It got pretty dark. Alright, this is where that spine would go. That's why I avoided this section initially, because I was like, what is happening there? Whew, this is a mess. There we go. We're back. It's not a mess. Our individual scales are going to do a lot of heavy lifting. It's also why I have individual, like multiple subdivision levels, so I can drop down to a low subdiv and then get a really nice blend. Yeah. It was your family and something like 8 randoms. We were sharing our glasses with everyone. Oh, how fun! Very nice. I'm glad that you shared. Nobody went blind. That would put a slight damper on the day, I think. I don't know why it's hard for me to understand why you can't just look at a lunar eclipse. And it's like, because it's the same reason you can't stare at the sun. And I'm like, I know, but it's darker. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Alright, we got belly scale, side scale. This is going to be more spine. I decided so. Cool. Sweet. And let's hop over to our individuals and add some detail. You, my friend, have been a lot of work, and I knew you were going to be a lot of work, and this is why I was afraid of you. And here we are, still going. Oh my gosh. Having access to the individual size scales does soothe my brain a lot. This makes it look a lot nicer. It's more so matching what I have in my head, you know? And anytime you can get your models to look closer to what you imagined or hoped for, it's a good day. Had a little bit more of an area to fill there than I thought I was going to need to, but it worked out really well still. Definitely going to keep my notes on these scales I use to transition and build together. Because not all scales fit together like puzzle pieces. Some of them don't play very nicely with others. There we are. Just looking at any areas that look kind of bald or need a little bit of help, a little bit of love. Yeah. Hey monkey. Hey, what's your favorite planet? Mine's the sun. I feel like you can't pick that, but that's not what the question was. I think my favorite planet would be probably Jupiter. It's got a big spot on it. Who doesn't love that? I think you asked that just so someone could say Pluto, and then we can argue about Pluto. That feels like the monkey move to do there. That's looking pretty awesome. All right. Woo! It's just the model that keeps on going. Okay, but we did it, and we're making progress. I'm getting it done. You like Earth? Eerie Earth? You know, picking Earth is that's pretty fair. Alice says, isn't the spot as big as the Earth? I think so. Also, my favorite planet is the moon. I knew you were going to say that. No, it's a Will Ferrell quote from an old SNL skit. Ah, very good. Nanomesh does work for doing scale work like this. It just doesn't look quite as good. I mean, it depends on what kind of dragon you're trying to do. I have done that before for Coatl, and it looked pretty darn good. Let's see if I can go find it. Beep, 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 beep. Coatl. I even spelled it right. Crazy. For this guy, that's how I did the scale. It's an older model, so bear with me. But yeah, I sculpted a scale, and that's kind of how they laid on there. It's fine. It just doesn't have... It looks so much more stiff. Obviously, you can vary it and whatnot, but I think this is the way. This is the way. But my actual favorite planet... Why do I keep saying that? Planet is Saturn. Good pick. I agree. Yo, the whisker's nice. I was wondering where they were. Yeah. Traveler says, one thought does occur, not dragon-wise. It's a detail thing, to show scope and scale. Would you want to include trees in a small monk to reflect the scope and scale of the gate since it's huge? Nah, because that's the beauty of tabletop is ideally other people's players will also be around it, so it'll give a really good sense of scale there. Planted. I don't know why I keep saying that. I still think this lady needs more jewelry. I agree. She's got like no jewelry. Yeah. Yeah, they do turn kind of mechanical. They don't have to. There is definitely a way to do it that would be fine. I especially think if you were to use it with polygroups and like the same way I was masking and laying on VDM scales, if you had your polygons laid out nice enough using ZRemesher, you could like group it and then insert, I think it'd be nanomesh then actually, on like a polygroup island at a time. That would have been way faster. I'm seeing it in my head and I'm like, there was a way to do that. Yes, I might try that at some point. So glad we're talking about planners. Who's to say a dragon can't wear her hoard as a fashionable decoration? That's my kind of dragon. We have 15 minutes left. Let's see if we can go make her fancy. Okay. What about like earrings? Today was a long stream. Today kind of kicked my butt just with technical difficulties and whatnot. And then I picked to keep working on the dragon instead of just being like, oh, let's just like make a character today, y'all. Let's make one up. That would have been a really, really big brain move to do. But no, that's not what I did. I just tortured myself instead. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. I definitely was a good day to have y'all hanging out with me. Thank you, Traveler, specifically for donating on Ko-Fi. It makes a huge, huge difference. If you're feeling generous in your soul and you want to help us reach our tip donation goal, tip money donation, what's another word? Sponsor, whatever. If you want us help reach the goal, I would super appreciate that. Where else do I want to put these? But yeah, I'm excited going forward to be able to stream more easily on Twitch and YouTube. You can just pick what place is your favorite. I think it'll be a good time. I am really liking these decorations already. There we go. And then I'm thinking about adding more things to the Ko-Fi shop. I love Alice's idea for like a newsreel of sorts, where essentially once a month, if you buy your spot, it'll be like $10 or something for the entire month at the top of my stream, it'll have like a little like news headline thing, and you can pick whatever you want. Like, oh, Alice Gend has built a bandit camp outside of Riften, or that kind of stuff. Just like, is now collecting tolls. Peasant tax. Just little goofy things. If you don't have anything you have in mind that you want to add, that's fine. I'll just make something up. It'd feel very like TTRPG flavored. It'd be a good time. Yeah, we are so doing jewelry on this dragon. Because I'm just putting rings on here right now, and I can't believe how much better this makes the model look. Good call, Traveler. Per usual. You must have, like, a lot of creative hobbies. I'd be very, very surprised if you didn't. Yeah. You do. Wings. Anyone else know that shawl/cape jewelry decoration thing? Jingly, kind of using dances. Might work here for the wings. Monkey has initiated his plan to take over the world. That would be a great little tag to have. And I'm going to put you up there anyway. Donation. She gives her offspring bling. I like it. 100% though, I have a dragon OC who is just bling. That's great. You do. That makes sense. These wings are gonna see an overhaul. They're fine. there's something about them that I'm not sure about yet. I'm gonna keep messing with it because I might figure it out. And if I figure it out on stream, that'd be really exciting. What if I just give it more wings? What if we just do like a quad wing thing here? What if we just do way too much wing? Yeah? Maybe the answer isn't how position the wing. The answer is just more wing. Sometimes the answer is just being fun. I mean, just kidding. No fun is allowed on my streams. Instant ban. Okay, I kind of don't hate it, actually. I was mostly just joking and being silly. And now I kind of like it. It's kind of a mess. Why not stop at 4? Why not 6? 7? Okay, well, it's at least going to be an even number. Hey, Duke. Dragonfly, dragonflies. Oh, that would be awesome, though, actually. Don't need this ring right here. There we go. Yeah, something about that's actually really, 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 really cool. What if I had like little butt wings? You know what I mean? Like by their hindquarters. Maybe 2 wings, but with the same curve as the horn and bigger. Yeah, I was trying to do a poor version of that. Okay, let me just save a copy of this wing before this gets too insane. And then we're gonna delete this. Same curve as the horns, which means curvier. Like this, kind of. These are difficult wings to curve for obvious reasons. Because of how spiky I made them, and there's not a whole lot of material. Alright, just go with it, Mia. And then I can decide later how I want to modify them. We're just trying stuff out. Alright. There's one. This one's being hidden. That's pretty much the same curve. We're gonna put it kind of behind the dragon to eliminate some of the insanity that's gonna happen here. We will decide how it actually fits to the dragon later. That looks bizarre. Oh my gosh. Usually my wings, when I deform them with a deformer, they're like happy about it. And these wings just, they're just violence. They hate the deformer. And I'm like, why? It has to do with the way that I constructed them. That's okay. All right, there's one. Mirror and weld. Obviously, they're a little too close together. We are just sketching. These wings look ridiculous. A big ol' circle would be interesting, though. I do like... Alright, I don't like this piece. Go away. Okay, I see what this would look like. And I am starting to really like this, actually. I just had to be more fun with it. Alright, there's one set. A very rough, definitely going to change these wings. And then because we keep talking about more wings and more is more better, we will do a smaller set. Yeah, it's kind of awesome. Kind of a mess. And it's kind of awesome, actually. Where are these going to attach? I don't know. That's a later Mia problem. Yeah. Naked butt wings. No. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to add more webbing and all kinds of stuff. What about antler wings? Oh my gosh. We're being silly now. I do think that these would look cool here as well. I kind of already have that happening though. What would antler wings look like? That would be antler wings. That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna duplicate this tail piece and make it larger to balance this absurd top part of the model. I kind of like it. The wings need to be completely redone from scratch. I still think it's funny how much we just never got along. We just weren't meant to be, me and these wings I designed. I don't like them, but I like everything else about this model. It's just like a better shape. Why are you so dumb? Don't talk to yourself the way I talk to my models. You practice kindness. If I dynamesh these so I can then move them. Yeah. We're being good. Everyone's behaving. It's too far into the stream to have to ban people for saying unhinged nonsense. It's too late in the day, y'all. Yeah, I can do something really cool about this. This shape is just cooler than what I had before, which didn't make sense. This does speak to me, and this is really neat. I don't like that though. That was mostly a joke. We're not doing antler wings. I know Alice was just joking. Surely. Yeah. How about small wings all the way down the body, like a millipede has legs? No. So maybe a long shot, but what about butterfly wings to make it more mystical? I want to say no, just because it's going a little too far from what the request was, which is more these sharp ones, but that is cool. Alice, I never joke. I feel like the wings need to look more like the tail. More like lettuce. I need lettuce wings, right? Which is why you're probably thinking butterfly wings. Okay, this just being the webbing though is a good start. Kind of fits, actually. We're just gonna throw it on there because it's neat. What do you mean you can't duplicate? I own you. Do what I want. There we go. Like, that's cool. Yeah? Yeah? I am so excited. There's going to be another Witcher expansion. I am very surprised. I feel like nobody saw that coming. I sure as heck didn't. And then this part is just broken. The fact that I just curved that into a circle makes no sense. And I know it's fantasy, but I'm gonna do something to make that look better. I just don't know what yet. I do like this though. This is way more fun. And again, kind of a tough stream for me. But tough streams don't mean bad streams. I want to make sure I clarify that too. Also, these should be coming from the same point, I'm just realizing. I'm like, what is a wing? I've never sculpted a wing before. Ah, there we go. That's gonna be really cool. All it needed this whole time, guys, was just more lettuce. That's all. That's all we're missing. Now I'm kind of creating a new insane wing shape. And I like it. No rules. The only rule is the rule of cool. And it's working. Okay, what's happening? Hack and Slash says, I love how the crescent wings evoke the shape of a crescent moon. Thank you. Monkey says, oh, okay, hear me out. Every wing has a drum and a flat. So I feel like this is a good spot for my turkey leg. No. Just Lingual says, oh yeah, broccoli. A good reminder for me to finish the vegetable list for when we do that bonus stream. Oh, that's right. That's right. It's been at least 6 months since I suggested turkey leg. It's true. It's been a sad 6 months. Hopefully not the special Taco Bell lettuce. No, this is not the Taco Bell dragon. It would be fun to do bonus streams though, where I do stuff like that, where it's like, oh, a Taco Bell dragon. Like, what does that even mean? And I just kind of like decide what that means. I need to add this to the other side of the tail. Well, that's kind of bitchin' cool, actually. I need to stop being surprised when I make really cool stuff. I used to be surprised every single time. Now I'm just surprised if because I was on the struggle bus the whole time. You guys made this 1,000 times more fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you for hanging out, sharing ideas, being goofy. It's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, this is freaking cool. I always knew it was gonna be cool. I definitely did not doubt the vision here at all. You could be the featured artist for the Taco Bell Patreon collab. You betcha. That's me. Monkey said, okay, I just realized there's more comments coming from Twitch. I can't read them in tiny window on mobile. As if I can read in the first place. Yeah, I need to get this. The size of the font is going to change and the type of the font is going to change. Oh, that's really helpful and cool. Travelers put this in. Some ideas for more wing types in the future. That blue one, though, I feel like really cool. Yeah, these are all more like aquatic. I like them. I like them a lot. Good stuff. Yes, just lingual. You just put M3DM. That's me. Hack and Slash says, I have to sculpt a Taco Bell dragon for my Hangry games. Wait, are you serious? It's a winged serpent named Queso and it is rising out of an Aztec golden toilet of nacho cheese. Oh my god. Someone actually is sculpting a Taco Bell dragon. That's amazing. Paint says, I add an update I have from working on it in time start streaming. Very, very nice. I'm not reviewing student work right now because I would just do a bad job at this it 3 hours into the stream. Technically, stream should have ended 2 minutes ago. Normally, stream would have ended hours ago. All right. Well, good deal. Good deal indeed. Oh my god, Alice. What is this? She's like, this is my vision. Just a bunch of little wings like a dragon millipede. I hate it. No. You don't need to change the window. I'm not sure any font will be legible on mobile. I still think the font's a little small. Like, I feel like making it like 5 bigger, you know? Do we dare ask what its breath weapon is? Or should we all nod and back away slowly? Traveler, you're getting really good. You're becoming like Mia fluent, I feel. This is good. This is good. We are not doing a breath weapon. Lord help me, we are not doing a breath weapon. Oh, actually we are. Oh wait, I am. Okay, it's funny you say that because we are actually. It's a secret one that's now not a secret, but I'm too tired to keep secrets right now. Yeah. I'm gonna start doing one super epic secret model every month instead of just a normal expansion pack, because it was fun doing expansion packs on Patreon, but instead I'm gonna do one model. Maybe it's a variant. So next month it was gonna be a dragon, so you can print the breath weapon in as a separate piece. It'll be keyed. So translucent resin. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna do that. I forgot that that was part of the actual plan. No, I love it. It's gonna be great. Okay, really quick, how easy is it gonna be to split open its head and make it scream? Oh, super easy, because I knew I was gonna do that, and I actually sculpted in separate pieces. Good job, me. Good job. Ha, I'm really proud of this. This is really cool. Yeah. Breath weapon is clearly more wings, just bleh. Just wings. Oh my gosh. A Taco Bell dragon sounds badass. I'm sure Clute will share it when he's done with it, so heck yeah. Mexican 3 dragon meal. Oh my gosh. I'm so tired. Thank you for watching. Today was long. Technically today was like a 5-hour stream because I started at 12 trying to get stuff to work, and I didn't actually start the stream until 1. Like officially, it was live, but it wasn't really happening. And then somebody was generous and bought an extra hour. No, it was awesome. I seriously, I'm never going to complain about donations. That would be insane. Yes. If you want to buy me a coffee to support hard work today, I would appreciate that. We would get closer to our goal. Or you can just look at my Ko-Fi and just send good vibes, and that will work too. I will telepathically absorb the good vibes. Shan says, bye, Mia, we love you. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna go take a nap and eat a bagel. Peasant, someone bought gifts. 25 bucks. I say, sounds like this dragon needs a variant. Also, now you're funded. Oh, thank you so much. I am. That's super. Actually, we're more than funded. We're extra funded. Traveler, is that you just being super generous again? Are you peasant someone? I think you are peasant someone. Oh my gosh. 1 second. It was Traveler. Yeah, sounds like it needs a variant. You are peasant someone. That's super generous and super kind to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, bonus stream tomorrow. I will rest good. We're super funded for it now. I'm just gonna consider this we're caught up now on that too. I love that you're peasant someone. That's really funny to me. Yeah. I want to see if I can get that newsletter thing up. You, Traveler and Monkey, you guys are built in to put into that. But yeah. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh gosh. How easy would it be to split open its head and make it scream? Mia. Oh, I did say that exactly. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go take a nap before I ban myself for saying something insane. Okay, great hanging out with you guys. Farewell. Thank you again. Extra shout out to Traveler. Bye.